gonna...
Late night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
I fear I've been set up to fail.
You fucked up. You fucked up. Fucked up.
I specifically asked, is it the full intro? And Novi goes, yes.
I didn't say that. What?
I don't remember that.
Did I say that?
I don't recall that happening.
I've been bamboozled. But you know who's not going to be bamboozled is us on Saturday, July 12th, 2025. AEW All In Global Field. Welcome to our predictions and previews. We got the young guns. We have Marcus, and we have a Hall of Famer, the founding father, Jack. Welcome. You're the uncle who's joining his young nephews.
I'm just here to hang out with the kids.
Fair.
Keep your ass in line, Caden.
Marcus, you're also not going to be in Texas. You and Jack will not be in Texas on Saturday. How are you feeling?
I'm doing wonderful. You know, I got a fresh cut for the week, as you already know. I had to do that in celebration of my glorious, my wonderful, my beautiful, my sunshine, my Hangman.
True.
We riding down to Dallas. We riding down to Arlington. We taking that damn briefcase back and opening that bitch up, and we're getting pretty platinum back.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of All In is gonna be pretty good. And I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. You know?
I wanna throw it to the Dallas native first before I talk to Novi. Brainbuster.
So
We're going to your area.
Yeah.
Your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
How are you feeling on we're a few days out. Like, you got Dynamite tomorrow, you got Collision on Thursday, you have Ring of Honor on Friday. So like tonight's the last night of you like knowing peace for the next 5 days.
I'm very excited. I'm like, Novi and I have a full agenda to get through this whole week. I'm gonna spend so much fucking money, watch a lot of wrestling, eat a lot of unhealthy food. It's gonna be the best. It's gonna rule. I'm very, very, very excited.
Are you not gonna heed Joe Holbert's warning?
No,
absolutely not.
Wait a minute. Didn't I cut your guys' company card access? You guys can't spend money on shit. At least not.
So you think, pal?
If I see one fucking charge on
when you get into the good graces of Robert O'Neill, things happen,
Made friends at the barbecue, Jack.
Yeah. We had a good time.
How'd that go? I didn't get to watch that.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun.
Jack, have you heard about my hot dog endeavor?
No, what?
I ate 8 hot dogs in 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
I can
nasty fuck.
They were like that big, bro.
They were like the normal size that you get like an HEB.
Were they growers or showers?
They were average.
All right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I could do that.
Probably could, but I'm still proud of myself. Novi, you have a lot of things riding on this weekend. Quite honestly, like, I'm a little scared for what might happen if things don't go your way on everything.
Well, Novi has a tendency to overreact.
Whoa!
Hey, wait What do we have video
Musicians
evidence
throw
of me
my way.
overreacting?
I've never been known to do something like that. I've
No,
never
exactly.
been someone to get shot.
No, what do
I've
you-
never
He's
done
reacted
that.
appropriately, as a matter of fact. To
Oh,
me,
yes.
I think he's conducted himself as an exemplary member of the
I've never seen
IWC.
Novi have a meltdown.
No,
No.
I'm
Not
very
at all.
calm and collected at all times. I thought we knew this, guys.
Somebody roll a
come on.
clip.
Whoa, hold on now.
Check out.
Let's leave that where it lies. Leave that where it lies. Kaden, let me tell you, I'm excited for this week. I'm pumped. I've never been to live wrestling with anyone who really likes wrestling. So this is going to be a big week for me and Brainbuster.
Me neither, actually.
It's a big week for us.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about this show. We gave you permission to lead the way. You immediately attacked us in the DMs with a crazy idea. Luckily, we shut that down. You took Hangman very literally, and we said, "Nuh-uh, YouTube won't like that."
Yeah.
To be fair, I said YouTube wouldn't like that because I realized my own mistake.
Yeah, it's good. It's good you took that to us because it was very dangerous for a minute there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I got an opening line ready for later, and we're gonna let it fly tonight.
Let's go.
This guy's on his phone.
Oh
Look
my
at this
God,
fucking
don't
guy.
play his phone, man.
Oh,
Ah.
the air, it's all dead around me. Oh God.
My girlfriend is picking up some Dr. Peppers, so I'm just making sure that
Almost.
we're all set.
God.
Man. She went on a walk because I'm on stream, so she was like, "I'll walk to the Wawa and get us some Dr. Pepper, so you're all set."
Anyway,
Fellas, let's talk about this. AEW All In 2025. AEW All In Texas. We got a pretty stacked roster, pretty stacked card, stacked roster as well. And I think we should go ahead and start with these gauntlet matches.
No, hold on, Caden Lee.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's one thing I need to point out before we get started.
Okay.
Very crucial.
Yep.
There's a wonderful selection of Grinners in the chat with us hanging out.
Mhm.
And there's one thing that they can do if
Oh,
they're
that's-
enjoying this
Oh
broadcast.
my God, you're so right.
They can like this video. They can smash that like button.
That's back.
Please do that down below. Caden, continue onwards.
Back.
Yeah. Yes. Odd numbers only, no evens.
Great point.
Buster, like what type of odd numbers would you suggest? What are your
Like
favorites?
1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13,
Yeah.
15, things of that nature.
Never forget.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's talk about these gauntlets, fellas. We
Let's
have
do
a men's and we have a women's casino gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. We only have one participant announced so far for the women. Chris Statlander will be the first entrant. For the men, we have Mark Briscoe and MJF as the first and second entrants. Mystico will also be in that match, coming for MJF, getting revenge from AEW Grand Slam Mexico. Let's talk about the women's first, since we have a little bit, like we don't know as much about it. I think we have like an idea based on the multi-woman tags they've done the last few weeks of like who might be in it. But yeah, since there's just a little lesser known, let's do that one. Brainbuster,
Hello.
what are you thinking as like for, because we're gonna get probably a surprise or two. Who are you thinking of like in terms of that? Plus, who do you think could win this one and get that title match?
I think for both a surprise and a winner, I think Alex Windsor is going to win it and also be there, make her debut. Do I want that? No, but I will accept it and I won't be mean and I won't be angry. But as far as other surprises, it's weird. Like I can't think of anybody. I mean, Browsen says that Jamie could be like, I guess would be a surprise because she's been off TV for a bit. But like as far as wrestlers outside of the company or like anyone going to StarCast, I forgot who it was, but Mickey, I think Caden said Mickey James.
Mickey James.
That would be cool. But those are the only names that like actually come to mind as far as returns for me, or like returns or big moments, I guess.
Yeah. Novi, you are you locked in on this gauntlet?
I'm locked in. I think it'll be a fun time. Gauntlets are always a good one. They're very reliable, and if the women's match, like the women's gauntlet, goes on first, I think it'll be set up to succeed. Brainbuster mentioned a couple names out there. There's maybe some loose indie names you could go to. I don't think they'll go to them, but it's always possible. Maybe they sign Maya World. You never know. Maybe they go with Hyan. She's a Dallas native. That's always possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's always possible. I think the most likely name that you didn't mention, Brainbuster, though, is probably Shuri. I don't know if that's necessarily going to get the biggest reaction in the Globe Life field, but I will be very excited because I like Shuri quite a bit. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm looking at surprises. For the winner, my heart really wants to say Chris Statlander, but I think I'm going to go with Brainbuster's side here. I think Windsor is going to come in and she's going to get it done. They seem to be thinking about pushing her as a pretty top name in this division. I think she's quite good. I'd like to see it more frequently. I just haven't seen so much. I've only seen some of her bigger matches. So, it's not the biggest sample size to go off of, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to her run. So even if she doesn't win, I'm excited to see her in the Gauntlet because I've literally no doubt she's going to be here. Yeah, that's where my head's at.
Marcus, there are some other indie names, some potential people who got released fairly recently, and their no competes are up. Who are you looking at to be in this Gauntlet?
Pretty sure Dakota Kai isn't up yet, so she won't be there.
I think her and Shayna I don't think are, but I think like Shotzi, Elena Black, those are the people who are.
Boy, if you get the fuck out of my face with them names. Oh yeah. Listen, I respect what they're doing over there in the Indies right now after getting released. I'm good. Like I am very, very good on either one of them in that Gauntlet. I'll just let them like do what they're doing, and I'd rather them just kind of focus on the roster they have. Maybe throw in the Media Mosh if she's available. Maybe a Shuri. That'd be really dope.
Miyu's in town, so it's not out of the question.
There you go. Yeah, she's done some dates here. She's done Ring of Honor, so I wouldn't be shocked if she's in it. As far as the winner goes, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Willow. Actually, I'm gonna say Willow Nightingale. And also the 4-way on Dynamite for number 2 spot. It's Megan Bain, Queen Aminata, Tekla, and Tamelo. So
True, yeah.
I kind of think Queen gets to win there. Not gonna lie to you guys. I think Queen's gonna be in it.
I'm probably Megan Bain.
Yeah, probably Bain.
Yeah, because the babyface is going to be one spot.
Bain and Stat starting out makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but
plus like
Queen
Stat's
Stat,
0 for 2 against her also, so it makes a lot of sense too.
Jack Crosby, how are you going to feel when Shotzi Blackheart debuts in the AEW Women's Casino Gauntlet?
It's funny. I was going to say her like as the surprise, and like listen, I like her, but I don't think AEW needs her.
Right.
But I could see, like, for the magnitude of the show, I could see them bringing her. Now, signing her, I don't know.
I said that. I forget when I said that, but like just as a name that comes out, for a match or whatever, whatever.
It would pop the stadium if Shotzi's name showed up on the thing, and obviously she gets to keep the name and shit. As far as who went, like, I want to say Statlander, but the thing is, she's going through this mental break, but not. She's going through this period right now where the Death Riders are trying to get in her head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see her winning. I think this is another thing that she comes this close and falls short. I was going to say, I agree with Marcus. Willow.
That's what I want to win.
Really send her over.
Always a fair bet, really.
Yeah.
And you got to think that it'll tie into the result of this upcoming match we'll talk about later on in the show. I mean, if we're thinking like that, I see it. I see the direction.
And they're gonna try to want to tie up that Stat and Willow stuff. Will Maria be in the match? I think, possibly, potentially, and they'll probably try to play with that a little more, like during the match as well, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna say Willow for now.
I'm gonna go with Statlander. I think it's time for Statlander to do something big like that. I think if Toni can retain against Mercedes, the person who I would like to take the title off of her is Statlander. If it's not Willow, like it's Willow or Statlander, and right now I think I'd like slightly prefer Statlander to build to like you can have Willow take it from her eventually. I think Shotzi, is genuinely like a good shout. She's in the town already. Mickey is someone I actually would really like to see in there for a one-off. Seeing like getting that hardcore country pop, I think would absolutely rule. And I said it last night when I was talking to the guys. After like how things ended with Mickey's tenure on LFG, I think Toni could like be like, hey, you want to come do this quickly? And I don't think she'd be. I think if it was like the right money and the right like pitch, I think she would do it. I don't think she'd be like adverse to doing it just straight up.
What about someone who is drawing a lot of attention on this show and people are pissed off? What about Athena?
Well, yes, Athena is going to be there. I think.
Yeah,
but Rose is definitely also
I think
going to be
Athena
there.
and Rosa are both in there.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, I don't think she's winning though. That's the only
No,
thing
I don't-
Yeah, as far as
can't-
winning,
I can't see it.
I wish, but
I really wish because that's it. Kind of ties into the result I'm going to go with later. Spoiler.
Well,
alert, but
that's kind of where my head's at. I was just going to say that might give away what's going to happen later.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tough one to predict too. I'm excited to talk about that one.
That's one thing I like about this show, guys. Real quick, is that like most of these like you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Very
There's a
unpredictable.
lot of them that are.
I definitely think he's going to definitely.
Yep.
I see one match on this card where I could tell two. All right, two.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I do think Alex Winder will be in there. I don't agree with Buster that she's winning. That feels.
All right, fuck you. I'm kidding.
Okay. I don't.
All right, but listen though, if she does win, I'm just not going to go on Twitter for like a month
Yeah.
I mean,
because I don't want to. I don't
yeah.
want fucking Ospreay shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
That's
Because you know that's where everyone's going to go.
It is. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Even though personally, I like her time. Even though she has one strike against her, I think y'all can figure out which that strike is. But she's fine. I like her enough.
We totally
good
forgot
piece.
to mention some surprises. The CMLL talents are going to be in this match. The women's talents.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
Persephone,
Catalina.
Zeuxis, Catalina.
I think all three of
Yeah.
them are going to be in there.
Probably.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's gonna be primarily just an AEW like thing, and they're gonna
Yeah.
use a lot of the people from that collision tags for the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of surprises here and there. I'd do the CMLL crew, me personally.
for sure.
I would definitely do that.
I don't think all three, because you're getting to at that point you're getting to a lot more people than I think there's only going to be like 9 or 10 women.
Picture in my head. All three come out and they team up against the AEW squad. They tell them to fuck themselves. An alliance.
Well, you already fucked because Zeuxis is hurt.
Oh, well, they got
Alright,
two
bro.
of them.
Well, I'm good with Catalina. I'm good with Persephone. That's
I think
It
those
actually
two
makes
being-
things easier for me. So, yeah, two of them.
Yeah.
They form a tag team and they beat the shit out of Statlander. Yeah.
Okay, tag team sub's probably coming after this show, so look out for that.
Hold on.
Fellas, we also have a men's gauntlet. I talked about a little bit. Briscoe and Max going to start out, which is going to be a godly beginning to this match, which I'm quite excited for. Mystico, Novi, where are you at so far in learning the lyrics?
I have not started.
Now,
Yeah,
fuck,
me-
man, come on!
I have plenty of days to go.
I'm at 20
Caitlin,
listens
to be honest.
already. Come on, you gotta step the game up.
Oh,
God
catch up,
bless.
Dovey.
God bless. I've been listening to Carly Rae Jepsen, brother. I've been doing my
Oh,
thing.
jeez, come on,
All right, bro.
That's
Jesus.
fair.
What? It's
Fucking
emotion. That's good fucking out. Okay, we're kicking the shit out of me. I'll listen to
Okay.
it before the show. We'll fucking ride in the car with it on the way.
I guess.
I'm hyped for this gauntlet. To be honest with you, I don't. There's definitely more room for surprises here. I think. I think there's gonna be a lot more participants, a lot more room for CML talent. That Friday or Thursday show. I think it's the Friday show.
Friday.
Very, very light, very light Friday
Very,
show.
very, very, very light.
So I could see a lot of those top names being in this one. But I think there's only going to be one winner. I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman gets it done.
Marcus, where are you leaning on like obviously like who's gonna win, but I feel like the men's gauntlet has more openings for surprises, considering that like I think for the women we've kind of seen a lot like with the multi women tags. I think the men you could kind of get because especially because they've like shown that already. With last year's, you had Ricochet, you had Nigel. What are you thinking for this year? It's like who's gonna be the big one? It's gotta be something.
Big one, I don't know. I think Moscow Dorada might be in it because, again, checking the CMLO poster, that shit is bare when it comes to a lot of the top guys in the promotion on that
You
show.
know who is on that show? On the CMLL show?
Who isn't that show?
It's Finge. Interesting.
I will
Interesting
say
to think about. Interesting to think about. That's all I'm saying.
I will say for the
Interesting.
CMLL talent, I'm like fairly confident that they're going to do on the 0 hour, and they're going to do like a CMLL versus AEW 6 or 8 man tag.
I think that should be on ROH. To be honest.
I don't fully disagree. However, I'd rather see those wrestlers in that stadium, to be honest. So
I'm being biased.
fair.
I'm front row, bro.
I think a lot of the people who like could fit into the gauntlet, I think a lot of them are going to end up in like a multi-man on the 0 hour.
Yeah, that one's surprising.
Yeah, that wouldn't be shocking at all. As far as the winner goes, I think it's fairly obvious. MGF's winning this match. Like, I don't think it's really.
I would agree. As far
Dark
as-
Horse, I'd maybe
right.
say Bandito, maybe if he's on it.
That'd be awesome. It'd be sick.
Would be very good.
As far as surprises, I mean, sorry about your damn luck. James Storm would be for me specifically.
Yeah.
That's not
That would
gonna
be
happen, but
that'd be amazing.
God, I would love it so much. I think it is just going to be a lot of CMLL names, to be honest. A lot of
Hey.
CMLL names. Ishii, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's on his New
all
Japan summer
reliable.
vacation.
All
Yeah.
reliable in the summer.
Yeah.
Monty
Shout
Brown,
out to
please.
Big Alpha Male, Big Monty Brown. Let's go.
I would lose my shit.
That'd be so sick.
If we don't bark in Globe Life, I'll be very disappointed
bro.
in either one of you.
Who's the most random name you could think about? Like legend outside of maybe Monty Brown, but like who's the most random name that you could think of that could
I'm going
be
to school
here?
Starcast.
I low-key like it's not random. I just want to throw him out there. I don't know. They could do Zach again in this one.
Please,
Maybe.
God, no. I'm
Fellas,
kidding. I'd be
I
fine with that. I'd be okay.
I
with that.
have-
I'm kidding.
I've
I
never
have
seen him.
two.
It'd make me happy.
have
Okay.
two big ones.
Throw it out.
Eddie Kingston.
Mm,
I
Nah.
think
Not
Eddie.
Coming back in
Eddie
the gauntlet.
I think
No.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
because
see Eddie
that's
on the show, but-
that's the right play. I think that's the right move if you want to. Like, it's such an easy match for him to work. He can get in there, hit his shit, and not really like have to do much.
Yeah, but imagine him like Mox is cutting a promo after losing the
yeah,
belt. And he comes out
it's
and
the
tells him
it's
to go
the
fuck himself.
Avengers thing, dude.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
like,
I think I
If
don't
we
think
want
I, just,
not
I don't think
Avengers.
Eddie's gonna be in that Avengers thing. I think there's other people that are gonna be involved in that because he hasn't been involved in any of the Death Rider shit.
but it's
Because he
much-
has.
But the history, he doesn't have to have like just his history.
Yeah.
would generally come on, just slap the shit and go, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
wrong with you?"
But also, he
Exactly.
did cut the promo on Collision where he was on his couch talking to Mox. So,
That
Oh,
promo
he
was
did- yeah, he did
so
cut that.
godly,
He did do
by
that.
the way. Promo was so godly.
The other one who I'm a little bit more confident in, and who I personally think is winning this gauntlet, I think Darby Allin's returning and winning.
that wouldn't surprise me. That
Well,
I
here's
could
the
see
thing
it.
about that one. That though, let's say that match starts the show.
mhm.
Darby does come back and win.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think this is opening the show, and I think
'Cause
Darby's
then
winning.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna have people anxious for 3.5 fucking hours.
Damn. Yep.
Son of a bitch, John's winning this match.
That is the best way to throw doubt in it.
Yeah, I mean that'd be
Because
pretty
a lot
cool.
of fans are
Do you
really
need to do
confident
that, though?
Hangman's
I
winning.
know me personally, even though I just said it, if I'm watching Saturday and that happens, I'm gonna go fuck.
It's gonna freak me the fuck out.
I
bro. I'm
know,
gonna
we're gonna be
tripping-
sitting
I'm
there
gonna be
going,
tripping
"Damn
the
it!"
entire rest of the show.
I think that's fucking godly. Though.
I
That's a
think
great idea.
I think that's a
Yeah,
little. I think
I
it's
think it's-
overthinking it to me.
It's a good idea, but only if Hangman wins.
yeah, it's a
Only.
good, no, it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's,
if Hangman
that's,
wins.
Could
that's
you
why
imagine?
I
You agree.
smoke screen, just like almost like Tony be fucking with people. On
Yeah, like
purpose.
it's entirely unnecessary. But
It's
if it
like,
happens,
if I
I'm
were
not
Tony,
gonna like.
It's a really good
You know what I
smoke
mean?
screen, and it adds a lot of. I think it adds a lot of tension to it as
Like,
well.
Darby Hangman would be a sick match.
Yeah, Darby
Yeah,
Hangman makes
exactly.
sense. I don't know
If I
don't know
were-
why that doesn't make sense.
Hold on, wait.
No, it's-
okay,
it's not saying it
since we're
doesn't.
talking about this,
I would say Kale.
dude. Joe had a fantastic idea.
Oh, is this the
Uh,
one?
Well,
Oh,
it kind of ties into it, but this is Joe's idea, where he was talking about how we were talking about the Bucks. Okay, wait. Do we all have our fucking predictions for the Gauntlet or whatever?
Wait,
Oh.
Jack, who do you
Jack.
have?
Max.
Max. Okay,
yeah.
so everyone has Max,
Max.
and I have Darby.
So, the Bucks versus Ospreay and Swerve. Okay, so fucking Joe was talking about how he wants Swerve to turn heel at some point, which I agree with fully.
Yes, please.
And this would be perfect for the idea of Darby winning the Gauntlet, because if Hangman wins, imagine it wouldn't really make any sense because like I said Seattle, but they could do it all out, I guess. So it's whatever. Hangman, Darby, and in that match, like obviously Swerve doesn't turn heel at all because he has to be in the Avengers shit, obviously. So during Hangman and Darby, Swerve comes out and like screws Darby out of the title shot. And he's talking about like all that time that I spent fucking fighting for that title and you never came out to help me, but then the moment Hangman does, you're like right there to save him, and you're like you're right there to help him win the title. You know what I mean? And like both guys he has like crazy history with him, like Hangman and Darby. I think it'd be fucking money.
Plus,
That's money for a lot of reasons.
Imagine just the visual though of Darby and Hangman in a match and Swerve
Yeah.
walking down the
Swerve
aisle.
coming out is like, why is he here? Is he here for Hangman? Is he here for
Which
like
one is he gonna?
Exactly. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then there's also, I forgot, Browse and put it in the chat, but he said it wasn't his idea. So I don't know. Or their idea. Sorry. The idea of the Bucks winning at All In, which I think is going to happen. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
And Hangman and, Ospreay and Swerve not being able to challenge for the titles for a year. And then they're the Owen finals.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That would be
Delicious.
unbelievable.
The thing is, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure.
I'm
Wow.
God.
Yeah,
I-
that's 100%.
that's
You know-
such a good idea, dude.
You know what goes underrated in this idea too? Swerve going heel, dude. He needs
Exactly.
it so bad. He needs.
I
to
think
go
it would-
bad.
I
Yeah,
think like
I think it'd be fucking fantastic.
another part of it is that like they're presumably gonna do a Pacific Northwest show in
Yes.
Wrestle Dream.
That's
Main
what
event,
that's
Swerve and
where I
Darby main
want.
eventing.
That would be awesome, but that's where I want the Hangman idea to happen. Because like Swerve screwing Darby in Seattle, where they're both from, you know what I mean? Incredible.
I think
fantastic.
I could see I don't disagree. I think that or you have the turn be at like you could run all out.
Yeah.
Easy if you want to do the turn at all out, and then that way
Yes.
you can set up Seattle
match
versus
that-
Seattle.
Yes.
or
That would
Seattle
make
versus
sense.
Tacoma.
Both of them are good ideas, but
Yeah.
Here's the thing we're
Yeah,
already
whichever one.
noticing over the course of the show. The good parts about this, everything connects on this card. The
yeah.
results all matter within each other.
You
It's
know
almost like
know
Tony Khan's back in the weeds.
Almost.
that a company is really cooking when we're talking about a show happening in July here, early July.
Yep.
And that leads us to a conversation about fucking mid-end October.
Yeah.
That all
And the
makes
thing is, like, it's mid to end October next year. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. You think because like the biggest show of the year, like matches results are supposed to have consequences, right?
yeah.
At your biggest show of the year, pretty much every major match is attached to each other,
Yeah.
and it has a major consequence or a major butterfly effect for something down the road, or say the result of the Bucks tag. That's basically your hook for next year's All In at Wembley.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
like everything is coming together really, really nicely. I'm really enjoying this. This is what I want to see out of AEW. Thank
Yeah.
fuck we're back to that.
Yeah.
We have a super chat from Riley Walker saying, "Don't get me wrong, Darby's pop in the main would be loud even if he returns and wins the casino, but I'd save his return for the main for the loudest pop possible."
I'd do the same.
Yeah, I agree.
I
that's
tend to
like-
agree, but I'm not gonna like lose my mind if Darby wins the
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The only like pushback to that I have is like Sting's. He's gonna come out with Sting presumably in that main event. If they come out together, it's gonna be a
separate.
crazy pop for Sting.
I think they could do something where it's like Darby first and then Sting.
Yeah, bro. You want?
I think,
you want?
I think it'd be fun.
You want to get the most. You want to lay.
I think-
I think you
Go
can,
like,
start I fell and then go into Seek and Destroy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Seek
I
and
mean, like,
destroy. Oh my god.
yeah,
Because let's face it, Sting is getting involved in that main event. Like
Oh,
that-
absolutely, yeah.
that-
Yeah.
yeah. I
He'll be
already talked to Steve. We're getting
Okay.
ready.
Okay, bro. We don't need you to lie. It's okay.
You had a phone call the other day.
But I'm thank you, Riley, for the super chat. But
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Mhm.
I don't fully disagree with that. Like I'm fine with either option. I just like I think I like the stuff that happens after you have Darby win. I think like the entire idea of like, okay, it builds tension for the next 3.5 hours. I think that fucking rules.
Yeah.
I think like
I
yeah,
was
it would be a net positive. I think
There's a
But-
lot of ways this could go where it'd be a positive. Like,
If I
You
Yeah.
have to be careful because like if Darby
Definitely.
wins, I'm pretty certain Mox is actually winning that. I am like very certain
I'd
of
be
that.
terrified.
if I was
I
Tony
shed
Khan,
bricks.
if I was Tony, I would book that, and then I would just sit there at Gorilla like this, scrolling, watching all of you bitch and moan and being like, "Are you dumbasses? Hangman still."
Starts reading my tweet where I go, "Uh-oh, guys."
Yeah.
Thing is, the TV is telling you. We'll get to it, but if you just watch the show for like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
you should be pretty confident in where
Mhm.
things are going.
Yeah. Fellas, let's talk about this 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. As the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defend against JetSpeed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm sorry, Jack. And the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. It's uncalled for. Look, I already know. Jack, let's just get it out of the way. Let's get it out of the way.
Listen, I'm not a hot take merchant. I like
Yeah.
this fella. He's a very good professional wrestler.
Mhm.
The gimmick sucks ass. It's not. I don't get it. I don't.
Just
I don't know, man.
Just
He's a
Jack,
he's a
Jack,
fighting game
I
character,
I
bro.
need you to picture this in your
Exactly.
head, though. I need you to picture in your head. Guy's standing there and he's kicking them one after the other. Quick, 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 quick.
I hate
fucking
that move. It looks in a professional wrestling match. I'm sorry, everyone who I offend. It looks dumb.
I mean, listen, I agree.
Yes, I don't know.
I agree, but you know,
Just his opinion.
But here's my thing. Like, I'm not like he's a very good professional wrestler.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I'll give him that. But
fantastic TV wrestler.
stick.
Yes.
I don't. No, it's not for me.
It's not like I'm asking to be like the world champion anytime soon or anything. He's on a tag team with Kevin Knight, so like it's fine.
Yeah, it's great. That's okay. That's fine with me.
It's a great spot for him. Just the only big problem with that tag team, I'm just gonna go ahead and get us started here. They've been getting their asses kicked for like 4
Yeah, they
weeks.
definitely have.
I mean, with
basically
the Hurt
were
Syndicate, who
involved
hasn't?
in an 8-minute beatdown segment last episode of Dynamite.
I thought
I think this build has not been great, guys. I'm gonna keep it honest with you.
Yeah.
no,
You
that
know?
beatdown segment went a little too long.
A
It
little
was
bit.
rough,
Just a
dude.
little bit.
Too long.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
It's like I got what they were trying to do, but it was way
Yeah.
too close to what they just did with Hangman. And Hangman
Yeah,
literally
but it's
just got
also
up and
like-
said, "Fuck y'all."
I get what they're trying to do, but it's a bad idea. Like, it's just a bad idea, bro.
Good work, Pumps. Good
I
work.
might be exaggerating, but didn't JetSpeed get up like 3 different times going, "Oh, we're not dead yet"? It's like, no, that's
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. You're fucking dead.
You're dead, yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't. You're done. Just lay down.
Yeah, I feel
There-
it's just very-
there's a thing with
bad
Hurt
segment.
Syndicate stuff that I've noticed for a while that I'm gonna hold off on for a while because I love the act.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can we scale back the ass kicking a little bit?
Fellas,
Just a little.
I'll be honest. I badly need one of the other teams to beat the Hurt Syndicate.
That's
I
just
don't.
something
I don't.
that
I
like-
don't. That's not gonna happen, brother.
It's not.
I
And you got to think too. Like one of those
probably
teams.
not. I can't.
Why are
do
they
it.
here?
I
yeah.
like the act.
No.
They
Ask me
ruined
why.
the tag division's in shambles still, and we really need it to recover. It's not going to.
I-
Still,
I
they're
can-
not champs
Why is the patriarchy here?
because Christian
Listen,
wanted.
brother.
I know we all know why, but still, in like the actual story, what's going on here? You know, it's,
They say, "Hey, Christian, what do you want to do? Fuck it."
Yeah,
Because his name is Nick Wayne,
Beast,
and
What
he's
did they
about to
call
go
him?
insane.
Bud.
They call him Nick Wayne.
that's a great point.
Thank you.
Very good point.
What were you saying, Jack? Sorry.
Christian's a beast. He just went to Tony and said, "Here's what I'm doing," and Tony said,
Yeah.
"Okay."
No, yeah, no, I respect that level of peace. Just
Listen, I respect him even more since I read that thing about they wanted to put him and Edge back together, and Christian.
He goes, no.
It's like, actually, no.
I gotta put over my boy first.
Yeah.
I don't
Which-
blame him because he's like, listen, I have
Yeah.
sort of a fucking lifetime. Like, yes, I will get back together with him, but give me a
Yeah.
little more time.
Like
Also,
spending all
Nick's,
this time
Nick's
with
gonna be
Nick.
here in 10 years too, and
Yeah.
Copa not, you're not.
Spending all the time with Nick, like all this time on Nick, and then just like abandoning it out of nowhere for Cope. It's just,
Yeah.
it is.
That would
dumb.
make no sense whatsoever.
I get it. I get what he was going for, or like why he would be
Yeah.
against it.
He's in full completionist mode at this point, and plus, again, Nick Wayne's 19, 20 years old. He needs
Yeah.
something.
It's worked a lot for him too. He's definitely
Mhm.
gotten better with Christian.
Well, yeah,
it's,
in all
it's pretty easy to tell.
In all seriousness, it's like the development of Nick Wayne under Christian, like behind the scenes, off camera.
Right.
You could see it.
He's a
Mhm.
decent promo now.
This
Yeah,
kid.
he's like
Yeah.
pretty hard promo. He doesn't like break all the time.
Yeah,
You should
all
have
the
just
time.
Christian's
He still
better
does,
too.
but
It's
not,
very
not
funny.
awesome. He has. He's like just straight up acting like Christian. It pops me.
Yeah, like the facial expression is so godly now. You have to do
Uh,
BOSJ. You have to actually get real reps in. Now he's
Yeah.
on the biggest show of the year. Good for Nick Wayne.
Mhm.
I think as far as who's winning this match, I think it's pretty obvious. I think we might all agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Across the board, I
The
think.
Hurt Syndicate's probably one of the
People getting hurt, y'all. Yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
we
curious
get
to see where
chant-
they go
we
out
get
of
to
it,
chant
too.
and hurt
See,
people.
the thing
We
with
sure
them is
do.
like,
Probably a couple times.
I get
too.
the shtick is you're just gonna beat the shit out of people. At the same time, you gotta kind of help the babyfaces a little bit. But then
Yeah.
again, look at the babyface teams they've had to wrestle.
Yeah.
It kind of just is what it is in some of these cases. Well, JetSpeed, they have a real future.
Yeah.
Beat that angle was a little much, but I get the idea. And Kevin did pin Shelton on Collision, so whatever, fine.
Yeah.
I'd keep this going post All In and have it happen like on the TV or All Out if you really want to
Do
do
it
that.
in fucking. Where's Speedball from in Canada?
Montreal.
It's fine. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Just do it in Toronto.
They'll kill you. They will kill you if you say that in
Not.
Canada, bro. It's not.
It's just
Yeah,
very
that's
not.
fair. Whatever.
Very much not the same thing.
Bro, if
You don't
I'm
even
looking,
speak the
if
same
I'm looking on
language.
the end, dude, it says Canada on there. It's all the same business, you know. It's
Yeah.
just
It gives a fucking K back.
yeah.
Fucking losers.
It's
It's
crazy.
it's like if I'm buying Deer Park and Dasani, it's all come from the same damn company, anyways.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Buster, you have to do me a favor. If you ever
Yeah.
meet like Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, I want you to walk up to them and be like, and when you see, you'd be like, oh, it's like Toronto, same thing, and see what they say.
Just slap the shit out of me.
Yeah,
They'll
dude.
beat your ass.
Have
It's
him
definitely
beat
not the
you the
same
fuck
thing.
up.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I appreciate the idea.
Fellas, I think we're getting some pushback here on Canada is just one place. We'll stand by it though. As a collective, we stand by it. No one
Just
else.
think
no one
about it.
said any
Calgary is
disagrees.
not the same as Toronto. Like that is like saying New York is the same as Texas.
Yeah, it's actually a fairly good comparison.
You ever lived in Canada, Cade?
I used to spend summers there.
Jesus, bro.
That's a crazy lore drop. I didn't know that
That's
about you.
wild.
my,
You
uh,
should have
my
dropped
dad-
on the Lord tweet on the timeline.
my dad's from Montreal, so I would spend a lot of this like. a
Oh
decent
yeah,
amount
you
of
told us
summers.
that you were half Canadian one time, which
Yeah, I'm
doesn't
half- I'm
actually
half-
make synodical
I'm,
sense.
I'm
But
half Canadian. So
Oh, so we can pick on him even more now.
we
Ah,
can.
Jesus.
We sure can, dude.
Hell
The
yeah.
fuck? I forgot about this.
Maple
This is
Leaf
good
pussy.
How's Scott doing, dumbass?
Oh, is that in that drink? Did you put maple syrup in there? You stupid loser.
God, is that?
Oh, sorry, Caden.
Fucking own.
Sorry about that.
You
I hope I didn't offend you.
like your Putin?
Good work.
Poutine is actually very good, fellas.
All
It's
right,
really good.
move on. Next match.
All right. Next up, we have Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher, the AEW TNT Championship. This should be a squash.
This
3
shit should
minute
last
match.
5 minutes. Kyle Fletcher should dominate this fucking
Kyle
guy.
Fletcher should beat the
Send him
shit-
back to fucking
Bro, he should
K
top.
list.
He should top the fuck out of him. He should top him.
Whoa.
Yo, whoa, 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 whoa.
Y'all know what I meant? Y'all, what y'all talking about, bro?
Oh.
Bro, y'all know what I meant, bro. What are you
Hold
talking about?
on, hold on. This is a family show.
What are y'all talking about, bro?
Whoa.
He's gonna beat him in the
Yo,
match. He's
you
gonna
alright?
topple him on the rankings. What do you mean, guys?
Yeah, okay,
Jeez.
okay.
You guys are perfect.
Anywho, what should happen here? Oh, actually, before I say anything, say his full name. The protostar, Kyle Fletcher.
There you go.
What should happen is he should fuck Adam Cole up so bad, Davey Crockett, Adam Travis, and everyone who died in the Alamo should turn in their graves.
Jesus.
That's more
That
names
was
of people
worse.
that's more names of people that died in the Alamo that I could ever name in my fucking life.
I'll raise you with Jim Bowie also. How
I was
about
gonna say
that?
Jim
No idea.
Bowie. Jim Bowie's the only other one I knew.
He's stunting on you, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah, I know my
Sorry.
history.
Floridian just cooked the Texans' ass.
You're damn right, and it happened in San Antonio.
Wow.
Sick.
You're
But
right,
nah-
though. You're right.
But now Fletcher beat the shit out of him. Did this?
Yes.
Like I said this on Twitter a while ago. Kyle Fletcher's win that world title like sooner rather than later. We can all agree on
Yep.
that, right?
I think next year, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
it-
least next year.
I
For
think
now, the TNT Championship is fine. It's a fine stepping stone. You can have 15, 20-minute bangers on TV or how to be a champion
Yeah.
without the pressure of your first go-around being with the top prize in the company. And that's hurt a lot of people. And that's hurt. It hurt MGF to an extent.
hmm
And that
Certainly
being his first
did.
championship in the company.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to rush it. You don't have to put it in the microwave. Slow cook it. Put it in the. You don't have to put it in the air fryer. Just go in, put it in the damn crock pot. Let it simmer for a
Exactly.
minute. Let him do his thing. Let him flesh some stuff out. Let him get a championship reign, like away from the cameras. Be the king of TV. Just dominate Collision. Have some nice
think-
dynamite matches and go from there.
I think he should win it at Revolution from Hangman.
That'd
That's
be
my
nice,
idea.
actually.
And then he holds it to All In.
Was
Will
it
and-
Caden
Will
who,
and
who
Fletcher.
suggested that idea?
All In.
Yes.
For the that's the one I'm still rocking
Yeah.
with. I really like that idea.
Which one?
That same one you just described, where he
That
wins
Fletcher
at
win.
Revolution,
My
he
bad.
carries it
Yeah,
to all
I
in.
think we talked. I
Yeah.
think Joe and I
Ospreay
talked
beats him.
about that on a show before about Fletcher. If they're going back to Wembley next year,
Yeah.
about Fletcher going in there as champion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I think
that's
against
what a lot of us
Ospreay,
have said
I
the
think
last
Against
little
that's-
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Osprey's
That-
spot for sure.
Look, the only thing
And
I
then
gotta
that,
say is,
the Owen being Osprey and Swerve. I love the
Kyle-
idea so much. I'm in love with it. I
It's
love
really good.
Kyle Fletcher is going to show some violence that has not been seen in Dallas since November 1963, fellas.
You need to chill the fuck out.
We're putting him in the Texas School Book Depository.
Christ.
Austin Jenkins, if you're watching this, I think you're a nice man. Adam Cole, I sometimes enjoy your wrestling in 2025. But Don Callis is in the Texas School Book Depository as we speak. Cal Fletcher's going to have you positioned up in the grassy knoll. It's over.
I don't know if I co-sign necessarily what you just said, but I
Yeah, I
do
don't
co-sign.
either.
I do co-sign Fletcher winning, so that's that. I'll just make that very clear. Fletcher's going to win.
Man, Fletcher's winning this. Like, if he doesn't, that would be like malpractice because we don't need another long Adam Cole Cal run.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I would crash out more if Fletcher didn't win than if Hangman didn't. Just personally.
Because why?
Just personally, because it's like it just wouldn't make any.
I'm not gonna
sense
lie.
at all.
I'm not gonna lie. Get your fucking priorities straight, pal.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
That would be a
talking
dumb
TNT
decision,
world
but, like,
title,
come
bro.
on.
Oh, jeez, bro. Adam Cole continues his fucking collision TNT title reign. No. Who gives a fuck?
It's like,
Don't watch.
it will be actively bad, but like, come on now. It's the World Championship.
Like,
It's the TNT
who cares?
Championship.
Well, leave me
Who cares?
alone.
But yes, Fletcher's winning, and he should. Drop
Jesus.
it to Mark Briscoe and drop it to like hologram or some shit. Oh,
Fucking
I don't
drop the mic,
know.
too, Caitlin. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saved it though before it fell on the table, so we're good.
Good
Didn't
work.
sound like it.
Yeah. Well, I caught it. Leave me alone. Everyone agrees that Kyle Fletcher's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We have one more match before we get into this like triple-headed monster that is sitting there. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay are wrestling the Young Bucks, Matthew and
We
Nicholas.
already talked
Jackson.
about this. I thought we already talked about this.
Well,
We
need
like
a official
briefly
prediction.
did. I was gonna go more in detail.
All right, that's my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Brainbuster. Let him do his thing.
Jesus. If Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge the AEW World Championship for 1 year.
No.
If the Young Bucks lose, they will be stripped of their executive vice president titles. Novi, do you think that we are?
Let's be very accurate here, Mr. Host. They are stripped of their EVP titles, and we get them.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good to note.
So what do we do when our new EVP titles should Swerve and Ospreay win?
I'm signing Killer Cross.
Not
Well,
fair.
Immediately slapping that world title on him.
Not fair.
Actually, maybe we shouldn't have the EVPs.
That's where I'm going.
Not
All I
here.
know is I'm gonna be a simple man. I was someone who was with this company. I was a day one dub soldier. I went to every show that they had here. Fight for the Fallen and New Year's Day Dynamite, blah blah blah. Pandemic happens. I go to every single show that we were allowed to, for the most part. Spent $20 every day on Wednesday. Be there in front of 50 people, in front of 100 people, over 150 people.
It was only $20 to do those?
Yeah, chicks were cheap as hell.
Well, that's not bad at all. That's awesome.
It's a
Mhm.
great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me and my brother, me and my dad. Parlay, spent barely $60.
I didn't know the prices. That rules.
Yeah, they were great. And it was only like 20 minutes from my house, so not bad at all. But yeah, did all those pay-per-views with 1,000 people. Then full capacity, double enough for 2021. Then there's 6,000 people.
Yeah.
And then they go back on the road. I come back whenever they do shows here. I'm there. So as a new EVP, should Swerve and Ospreay win, I'm just gonna be a simple man that have front row tickets, foot on the damn canvas, foot on the turnbuckle, all that shit for life. That's all I ask, Tony.
That's
Just
fair.
give me what I want.
It's a good pick, to be fair.
Fair.
On the match, Caden Lee. We already talked about all of the results. I think this one's pretty obvious. I think they're kind of once you slap a stipulation on the match like that, it seems like a given. That's where it's going to go. I think the Bucks are going to get the job done. I think Ospreay and Swerve. I think we all know that I'm going to pick Hangman in the main event. It's not really a spoiler when I've been very clear about that for like months at this point.
Mhm.
And I think you kind of want to keep them away from him. You kind of want to keep those matches to the side just since they've happened so recently and there's so much history there. Let them do other things and then we'll reconvene next year. So yeah, I'm taking Bucks. I think this match is gonna be great though. Could be like a tag match of the year contender if they really go all out. Like the Bucks have been super on form and Ospreay's been great. Haven't loved Swerve, but I think in tag settings he'll be fine and quite good actually. So yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I'm interested in like what they. I think like I don't think it's as obvious to me because the EVP thing started about 18 months ago, when the Young Bucks came out to challenge Sting and Darby, or at least give like the hint that they were going to be the ones to face Sting and Darby at Revolution in Sting's last match. It's kind of when they started that. Me and Marcus were there for that. So
Indeed.
I think now you can. I think it wouldn't be like crazy to go ahead and end that and to just do another happy moment. However, I also believe there's going to be a lot of happy moments on this show, and we need one that's not going to be happy. So I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do we all have the Bucks?
Yeah, this is gonna be the match where the result's not obvious per se, like Hayden said, but the more you talk yourself through it, and the more you see the landscape for the next year, and the more you see where things can go, that's where you lean towards the Bucks winning this. Like, yeah, sure, it'd be nice, it'd be cool, it'd be pretty easy to just like, you know, have a payoff to the EVP storyline and end it right here. That's cool. But if Heyman's gonna win, you need to just kind of space out the happy moments and give fans a little bit of doubt. This is where the doubt comes in. And plus, there's a lot more meat on the bone for stuff that happens afterwards and with the after effects of people sacrificing their personal ambitions for Hangman's glory to come into play, especially Swerve. And hell, even
Really
Ospreay to
cool
an
story.
extent.
Really cool story, as you could tell.
Yeah, because like afterwards they say they lose, Hangman wins, they help him, all that. Now what? Can't challenge for the world title. So you just stick for a tag team for a little bit, win those belts, drop them, 4 turns. There's your through line for the next year. And for Ospreay, we know his time's coming sooner rather than later. It's very clearly coming all in 2026, back at Wembley. You can't do anything for a year, which will be right before that show, presumably like before the Owens, so he can just air that and win it, beat Swerve, and blow that off. Swerve as a heel, especially. That gives Ospreay another scar. Like, he's not just the fresh, hot, young signing from New Japan that you just smacked your title on because you just wanted to do it. No. He is fully, at this point, an AEW guy by that time. Because he did basically the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good of the company and costing himself the chance to compete for that belt. He tried to get everyone on the same page. He basically falls out with Swerve at that point. They have their thing. They get to the Owen finals. Overcomes that. If anyone's the belt, boom. You just booked an entire year of stories right there.
Yeah.
So, yes, Bucks win.
Love that.
Jackie, are you going to become an EVP?
Sadly, no. I was convinced, like when they did that, because when it was just when Swerve threw out you lose your EVP titles. I was like, all right, yeah, they're winning. All right, and then because like you said, it's been so long, but it's time to end the EVP stuff with them. So I was like, all right, this is a great way to do it. But then when the Bucks threw in the you two can't challenge for a world title for a year, I immediately changed my mind. I said because like again, now you're creating intrigue for a whole year. Yeah, 2 of your biggest stars who can't touch that world championship.
Yeah,
and then along the way, you could do shit like put Will or Swerve in a match and be like, if you win, we'll take that away. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, you tried. You just keep fucking with them for a year.
If they do that, they have to be very careful, though. I can see that becoming very real very quickly.
Yeah. It is a dangerous thing. You're like, you kind of touched on a little bit. It's a dangerous game to play to not have these guys challenge.
It is. I think it's
very scary.
I think it's dangerous, but I would be very, very interested to see who then gets put in that spot. It could be very bad, to be totally frank.
Could be. These AEW have chosen a group of guys as their centerpieces. They're a part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Got to fill their spots.
So, like, filling those spots in terms of them being able to, like, challenge and, like, who's going to be on the pay-per-views, it could get quite scary. But, I guess AEW's they've never been afraid to, like, book like just like a weird world title match, like Christian Cage and Swerve clearly wasn't the main event, so like let's just give them something to do, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think I trust the roster is good enough to be able to find challenges for Heyman.
I would imagine. I don't know if this would work like to this fullest extent because they're both baby faces, but a well built well built sounds dumb because like no shit, anything well built's gonna be good. But like a truly well built Hobbs and Hangman program would be
really good.
Oh,
fucking
baby.
fantastic,
Yeah.
right? Like
Hobbs has been built up all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Good
like
payoff
this would be
for
an
that.
I think
opportunity to
that-
really do some things with guys.
I think
Yeah.
that being a Wrestler's Dreams at full gear build or full gear to World's End build would be very good because those are those are a little shorter than like fucking Double or Nothing to All Out or All In. So like the story doesn't need to be crazy or anything, but it'd be an awesome match. It'd be really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept. I think that's where they're going to go, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they navigate it, I guess.
Yeah. If we're trying to look at like who to fill the time there, it's not like there's a shortage of guys not waiting to move up. You bring up Hobbs. I think he's ready. I see it with him so clearly. Bandito's always there.
Yeah.
I think he's got star written all over him. I know he's not everyone's favorite. He's not a lot of the panel's favorite. A lot of people think very highly of Jay White. He's there. For each he's always there. It's just there's
Roosh
a lot
should
of
get his
guys
shit together.
waiting. Roosh is all
Roosh.
like
And then obviously,
Fletcher,
obviously Darby.
Briscoe's always there. There's
Briscoe,
a lot of guys.
Please,
that they
God,
can fill
please,
the time
Briscoe.
with.
Fuck.
That's what makes me think too. It's like if there's any doubt that they're gonna do it, it'd be how do you cope with them not in the main event scene? That's how you cope.
And I think it's honestly like a pretty. It could be a way to like force them to book the guy strong, especially fucking Jay White, because like the way he's been booked, I think we can all agree has been fucked. So like,
Strange.
Bad.
like being forced into like rehabbing that guy could like be very good. There was a fucking I forgot who said it. There was a report today that just said Tony Khan loves Jay White. That was the whole thing.
Dave.
I think Body Slam.
Yeah, it was fucking what the hell?
Dave was talking about Jay and was like, Jay's gonna be back kind of. Jay and Juice are almost back soon. Tony likes Jay White.
Yeah.
So
They're
weird.
gonna do
was
that eventually. I'm not sure.
that was the first
they're
thing I
gonna do
fucking
it.
saw when I woke up this morning. I was like, wow, really?
They're gonna
Yeah,
do
that's
it,
awesome.
and Jay, like you bring up the booking, it hasn't done him any favors. I think that if that gets a little better, he's able to have matches. I think he should like restrict him a little bit, rein him in with the lengths and stuff like that. I think that would help a lot too. It's just there's room for him in that role. It's just
And
finding the right
Browse
way
and
to do it.
saying Jay losing another world title feud would be tough.
Aw.
It would be all right. It would be, but I think it's valuable to have those kinds of guys that are like upper mid carders that can float up and down the card, obviously, and like you need that. That's a very valuable piece. So that being Jay White being that piece, that caliber wrestler being that piece, some people that like are really high on them or high on him may not like that, but that's like, I mean,
It's
that's
smart.
Yeah, it's a very good place for him to be, I think, for the
You
company.
position him too, like if he were to get hot and if he were to get really good, because it can always happen. Any moment, these wrestlers can really take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Like especially a guy of that skill level, you put him in position to where he can challenge again, and this time he gets it done.
Yeah.
It's always possible.
And I mean, but
It's
to be
always
What
clear,
done?
You never
Jay
know.
Jay White coming back. Him and Juice need to get those fucking tag titles, brother. That
That's
should be
where
the
I
next
would
step.
put
Them
Yeah,
working
that's it,
babyface versus FTR.
That would be so sexual.
Lock me in.
Sure. But no, like
very
this is a real opportunity to just flex the roster and
Mhm.
flex who you have employed.
Yeah.
And just like, yo, boom, 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 boom. These guys who haven't been in the picture, here they are.
Yeah.
Here we are getting behind them legitimately, having a killer match in the main event with Hangman Page, like easily your most reliable guys you got right now.
Dude, you know who
As
didn't
world
even
champion.
say? Presuming he loses, by the way. There's a little bit of a spoiler for my prediction. Kenny Omega versus Hangman.
Can always run it back.
You could always go back to it.
And then even in that case, Kazuchika Okada. You know what I mean?
Like I'm looking at the roster because I'm just like it's popping me to see all these people. He's not looked the greatest in like the last little bit. Pac is always there, legend in
Pac is,
AEW status.
And then don't forget,
Roddy
like,
Strong.
One of the shows we're looking to fill is for, like, let's say Hangman's a champ. One of them is for Forbidden Door, where you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that's a freebie right there.
Yeah, it's a freebie. You can
Fellas, I already have. I want Hangman versus Finlay at Forbidden Door. I need
That
the
match.
rematch.
I would-
That match in
That would be sick.
2022.
I'd
That
be
match in
into
2022 was really fucking boring, and I needed it. I needed it.
I'd
Fit?
be into that.
Yes, Fit Finlay.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Dude, he likes to
Hitler
fucking
collision.
fight that guy.
Yeah, he does like to fight. Yeah,
loves
like
to
fight.
Hangman versus
fight.
this version of David
He
Finlay.
loves to fight, guys. Come on.
God,
My bad.
that would be fucking godly.
It'd be tremendous today. You don't even have to give
It
them a
would
long
be.
time. Just have them whack each other for 20 minutes, 22 minutes
Yeah.
Speaking
tops.
of that, I gotta admit that like at least 2 times last month, I looked and I was like, "When's Forbidden Door? Isn't that soon?"
the
I swear to God, like 2 times.
schedule.
June, I
The
was like,
schedule's gotten. It's
where
gotten
is-
so fucked up, dude.
Hey,
It's
they
crazy
just
now.
flipped Forbidden Door and flipped All In and put all Forbidden Door in all
Yeah.
its original spot.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know it's gonna flip again next year, but I must admit I significantly prefer this schedule of like
Me too.
all in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
I would agree.
It's less
And-
wonky.
it's like, especially if you're somebody who watches both companies too, like enough time after WrestleMania has passed by now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where like the 2 big shows aren't that close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do prefer. I agree. I do prefer this.
Yeah,
It makes it like
I
a big
like-
party in the summer, like middle of the
Yeah.
summer. We're all coming together to.
Yeah,
Would you
watching
say that it's the biggest party of the summer?
No, I wouldn't
It's-
go that far. That's been trademarked.
that's
but-
Bob's Barbecue.
Yeah.
True,
I will
my
say
bad.
though, also
Sorry.
it's so much easier because it
posted that
doesn't
for
make
last week.
it doesn't make Double or Nothing feel like a filler pay per view just to kill time.
Yeah.
Because this had the real importance.
I
'cause
think
the
it
final
could also
happened.
be valuable because like in this time between I mean it would be a little bit of a quick build, but maybe in the future. It could also be used as like it's a pretty decent space that could Blood and Guts could fill, you know?
Mhm.
Before it was like Blood and Guts was so close to all or fucking Forbidden Door. It was like the
Yeah.
week before or some shit a lot of the time.
Maybe the week there was the week one year was like the week after. It was the week coming out of it.
Yeah.
It was
So,
the
like-
first Forbidden Door. It was literally the following Wednesday was Blood and Guts.
Yeah. So like
So odd.
having this event and then in like let's say like 2 weeks they did Blood and Guts. They don't or they won't, but you get my point.
Yeah,
I think the schedule it's formatted better. I think.
Yeah.
Because like it was everything like I want to say in the fall, everything was just boom, 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 right there,
Mhm.
close together.
Yeah.
Like you had Grand Slam, you had
Yeah,
Wrestle Dream,
it was
you had
crazy.
anniversary shows, you had all that stuff.
And
like,
then you had all in into all out.
yeah.
yeah,
That was the weirdest time ever. Like one.
Weird, right? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that weekend, like the 2 weeks back to back, they were so fucking cool though, because it
They
was
did
just, like,
roll
so much grabs.
and then
it was
Punk
such
got
a
fired.
yin yang thing where like one was like
Yeah.
a giant spectacle and the other one was just
One
This
was
is
a
an AEW
spectacle. Yes, that's what it was. It was just them being AEW. Like, oh, Brian and Starks on that show. Good.
Oh,
play.
that match is so
What a
good.
time to be alive.
hell. Miro and Hobbs was tremendous. I
Yeah.
can't lie
Yeah.
about that one.
I mean, it did birth the fucking meat chant. So like, fuck that match, but also it's awesome. So whatever.
There should have been a tag team coming out of that.
I will
actually.
say,
So true.
like with Blood and Guts this year, I'm glad that like it's not announced, and there's a potential that they do just be like, oh, we're gonna just announce Blood and Guts, and then like the match is announced later. But the way they've done stuff so far, it is kind of feeling like they are just gonna like if they decide to do Blood and Guts, it is gonna actually be a natural of like we're just gonna announce it, and like when it's.
I think they
actually
should
announced.
do. They should do Blood and Guts at like Grand Slam or something.
That'd be cool. I'd like that.
That wouldn't be bad.
I don't
Provided
know,
they
I
do
don't
Grand Slam.
I don't think it has the space. That's the only problem.
They fucking make it. I don't know.
And that venue is already so fucking hard to set up in.
I don't know, man. I don't fucking
Fuck, just make it a one match show. Who cares?
yeah, fuck it. We were talking about it. I was on the last part of WCW Lives. These like Southern Indies are so desperate to run War Games matches, they just like kill their houses because they want an extra ring in the
Yeah.
little warehouse they're running. Fucking rules. Just do that, bro. Who cares?
Love the game.
Those shows are papered anyways.
Who fucking cares? You're going to the Omni to see Flair, not going to the Armory
Exactly.
in Jacksonville
Yes.
to watch anybody. You know what I mean?
Novi's life depends on you smashing the like button.
Holy shit.
God damn!
Jesus.
Y'all better hit that like button.
How did that
Hit the
happen? Why? When did
Hit
that
the
happen?
like button, please.
Okay.
We have 3 big matches to close this show out. I don't know if they're gonna actually be the 3 to close the show out, like actually, but like right now they are. Like for us, my mic almost fell. I caught it. Let's fucking go. We have a winner takes all match to unify the AEW Continental Championship and AEW International Championship into the inaugural AEW Unified Championship as Kazuchika Okada takes on Kenny Omega. This is their 5th match together. They wrestled in Wrestle Kingdom. They wrestled at Dominion. They wrestled in the G1. And then they wrestled again at Dominion. They have not wrestled since June of 2018. They did team together in a tag match at
New Year's Dash.
New Year's Dash. I was going to say New Year's Revolution. I was like, that's not right. New Year's Dash in 2023 after Wrestle Kingdom 17. And that was the last time that these men shared a ring together in the same match. Brainbuster, I sat down with you. I sat down with you and Novi the last few days. And we watched all of the previous 4 matches. How are you feeling as a fan of Graps that you're gonna be? Not only are you gonna be in the building as these two wrestle each other for the first time in 7 years. It literally has been over 7 years since they've had a singles match against each other, which is fucking insane.
Wow.
But 7 years, and not only is it like you're gonna be there, it's also in like your hometown, home area.
It's pretty weird to think about like all these matches in Japan and the 5th one's in Arlington, Texas. Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas.
What the fuck is a polar bear doing in Arlington?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fucking cool, man. Like, as soon as I'm not gonna lie, I was never gonna go to this show, and then unforeseen circumstances took place, and now I'm going to the show. So like,
Things happened, as they say.
yeah, things happen.
Unforeseen circumstances, hot truck.
Yeah, I just didn't want to pay to go to fucking stadium wrestling. You know, I don't think I ever want to do that again. To, like, pay to go there. But when they announced this match, I was the closest I ever was before things happened. So like, it's that powerful of a match. Like, the two names involved, and like, I think the fucking like admiration, like revelry that I have for Kenny Omega as a wrestler. I couldn't stand the idea that the only time I'd ever seen Kenny was that fucking Jericho promo on Dynamite a couple years ago.
I'm so sorry.
That's still the only time I've ever seen him. So like,
you could have watched Kenny Omega die in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
I know. I need to fix that.
Die.
So like, yeah, as a wrestling fan, it's like genuinely a little bit surreal. Like, very, very cool. As far as the match, I'm super interested in how they're going to work it, because Kenny is fucked,
bro.
So
we all knew.
Seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, he is like,
it seems like it. He's cooked.
He's beat up. So
yeah,
I think
things of that.
yeah, I think we talked about this on I believe it was the last Okada Omega stream. I think it would be really, really, really cool. Like, the Wrestle Kingdom match is the big bombs fest, like crazy match. The second match is the Broadway. And then the third match is the sprint. Relative to the other matches, it's the sprint, even though it's fucking 30 minutes.
Just cook the guy's neck and all that shit.
And then the last match is the 2 out of 3 falls, like epic.
Yeah.
I think this match being the brawl would be very interesting. Can he get some blood? Okada maybe moves at a little bit of a more brisk pace. That'd be fucking awesome. I think Kenny just fucking gushing is probably the best idea. I think, not that he can't work at like a good pace. He's still a good wrestler. Don't mistake. Yeah. But he's he's not what he used to be. Obviously, like, you can't blame him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So just getting everything you can out of like a really good Crimson Mask from Kenny Omega in this match, I think would be very, very valuable. And he wouldn't have to do a lot, because the Crimson Mask does a lot of the talking for him. I mean, I'm still torn as who's gonna win.
Really?
Wow.
I'm leaning towards Okada. Like, I think Okada is going to win, but it's more, I'm like 60-40, I guess,
Interesting.
I'm not super convinced either way, even though I know how fucked Kenny is.
Yeah.
It's just, he's kind of a nut, isn't he?
I'm 60-40 Saint, but I'm 60-40 Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm not
interesting.
Convinced.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marcus was making a face when Buster was saying his 60-40. Marcus, how are you feeling about this?
I'm 80-20 Okada. I can't lie.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it's just the way this is gone. Okada is basically just beating the dog shit out of Kenny for the vast majority of this.
Yeah.
Like, you got stretched off. Like, that angle happened.
Mm.
Like, Kenny came back. Cool. After he reunited with Kota Ibushi, that's nice. Just the way Okada's just been presented, and then you link him up with Don Callis
Yeah.
for this, which
Yeah.
is cool. Like, because both guys aren't like the strongest talkers in the world. You know, Case has moments,
Right.
but like he's also had Callis by his side for a good portion of his like big parts of his AW run, and Okada does need the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty certain Okada's got this, and I'm thinking like after All In too, because there's the other part of the equation that we haven't discussed yet when it comes to this unified championship. What happens with Konosuke Takeshita after this?
I think he beats Okada.
He's
there you go.
He's a little busy right now, but
Exactly.
I think he's going to handle business eventually, it
Yeah.
seems.
He's got Super Carnivore to look at against Benio. That's gonna be fucking spectacular, by the way.
Oh, I'm
The
very
G1
Excited.
either gets to the block final or he gets to the final proper and loses there.
I think he gets to the final proper. That was my prediction.
I think he does that, and I think he loses.
Yeah.
Okada's wrecking shop. He comes back to AEW, and remember they had the interaction where like Okada's like, "Hey man, notice ain't gonna be forever, right?"
How
And
sick
Okada
would it
just like
be?
laps him off, and then
How
Okada
sick-
laughs at him for losing the G1, which again Okada's won like 4 times,
Yeah.
and then just get straight to it. And Takeshi leaves the Cow's family, gets jumped out of it, and then we get the next the babyface push of Konosuke Takeshita.
This is a little overbooked, but imagine Okada costs him the G1. Oh,
That'd be
He
hilarious.
should
Like-
he
like-
shows
like
up to New
backstage-
Japan for one
yes.
time. One
Backstage
time.
interviews, Takeshi just talking shit about Okada the whole time. You know.
Yeah.
Again,
Okada
a little
shows up
over, a
randomly,
little,
he's like, yeah.
a little overbooked. Doesn't make the most sense, but it would pop me. So who cares?
Or he just shows up backstage or shows up in the crowd and he, like watches them lose. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for the
He
big
does,
bro, didn't you?
he does the solo thing. I got 2 tickets.
But like, and on the real, Kenny's like beat up to oblivion. Like, there's a reason he's wrestled 4 ways. There's a reason he's wrestled mostly tags on television, and then the singles matches have been on pay per view. But this is the singles match. This is what he's been saving up his energy for. This is the one. We're going full Memphis style brawl here, baby, and I'm all here waiting for it. This is
really
the chance for AW to put their stamp on this rivalry. Because we all seen New Japan, we all seen what's happened over there. We've seen it since 2017. This is AEW's take on the rivalry.
Yeah.
Nobi, did you say who you think's winning?
I did not. I'm definitely on Marcus' side. I'm even more convinced it's Okada winning. I'm going 90-10 on that.
Yeah.
I really would love it to be Kenny. I think it's pretty clear that most fans, at least of AEW, have a reverence for Kenny. Most fans that have known him before, they love and appreciate all that he's done. Like Marcus very clearly put it, his body's fucked. You see it in the matches sometimes. You see it in the way he works. He's able to do some of the stuff he used to do, but it looks like it just hurts him so bad.
He looks like a 42-year-old man who's been dumped on his head for 10 years. And
Yeah.
the guy who almost died from diverticulitis.
Exactly. And I wasn't so convinced that it would be like this brawl that Brainbuster described it as. I'm very convinced it's going to be that now. I think it's actually going to look pretty close to how Kenny and Ospreay did at Kingdom. I think Okada's going to beat the shit out of Kenny. Kenny will have his big comeback spot, and it'll be glorious. It'll be tremendous. I think the closing stretch here will be like electric. I think Okada's getting the job done. I think Kenny, he probably takes some more time off, and I think him and Kota have a little tag run in the back half of the year.
Need it.
Which would be great because Kota looks. Honestly, they kind of look on the same level to me, Kenny and Kota. Like visually, I don't know if that's probably not legit in like real life, but visually they look the same in terms of physicality. But yeah, it's tough to see Kenny coming out of this. It's tough to see him what he would do after. There hasn't been anything set up for him. I'm with Marcus too on the Takeshi idea. This all seems to be lining up.
I think Kenny's winning.
Sick. Any percentages on that?
It's like probably like fuck. My earbud came out. I'll say like 65 to 35.
Really? 65?
Yeah, I think that when this was kind of like just in my opinion, I don't know anything obviously. I just think like we'd kind of like been guessing that this was going to happen for a while, just based off of like everything was set up for this a long time ago, and I think when it was, I think Kenny was going like it seemed like Kenny would win that and have this new unified title in order to like kind of create its lineage and give and let Kenny kind of do that as his like big instead of winning the AEW World Championship one more time, he gets to be the one to cement this title as like the secondary World Championship going forward in AEW. And even if he is completely fucked and can't wrestle at the level he is or has or was before his diverticulitis, I think it's still I think Tony and how Tony is and the reverence that he has for Kenny Omega, I think he still is going to go that direction. I don't think Kenny being a little bit fucked is going to cause him to be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that.
But he's not a little bit.
Kenny.
He's a lot of fucked. He's
a lot of fucked. But then what do you do?
You have him work matches with Coda.
Yeah, I don't know.
There. Easy off ramp right there.
Yeah, Coda got brought back when he did for a reason. I think it was a tell. I mean, Browson says it. I think I'm with that team. It tells you all you need to know. And I get your point. Kenny means a lot to AEW. This would like cement this run as him making it like a world championship. But I think Okada would do the same thing. I don't think it really, the winner of this really decides that. I think the gravity of the match does that enough for me. So I just can't see Kenny doing it. I can't. Doesn't register.
One
thing. Oh, before you continue, one more thing. We have a lot of matches on this card, and people are picking a lot of baby faces to win them. There is not only going to be babyface victories. I think this is one of the heel ones for sure. I think that's all. That also lends a lot more, weight behind Okada.
No, wait. We all picked Bucks. We all picked Syndicate.
Mm-hmm. I'll pick Fletcher.
We all picked
Fletcher. What are you talking about?
Holy shit! Owned with facts and logic, liberal.
I think the two matches we haven't talked about. This
is why I have to be here. You kids need to fact check your shit.
No, listen, I respect that. Nobody was fucking. He was agenda pushing. I fuck with it.
Asking Chat GPT around Uncle Jack, man.
We have 8 matches announced. I think it'll be a 5-3.
I think there's value to what Novi was saying in terms of the title scene.
Yeah, like this is the singles matches on this show, especially. Like these are the 3 big matches, as you said. I don't think all 3 of them are going to be face wins. I know you could split that, but
look, the only other 2 points I have is one, if realistically, how many matches does Kenny need to have after this? Because you could have him work Forbidden Door, which I think he's going to work a tag match at that, and then you can have him lose that title All Out, and you're going to be fine. It still cements the lineage.
But gonna be fine isn't good enough. Like there's a much better option in front of you.
My friend Caden Lee, I think the idea of cementing the world the title as the new world title and then losing it in a month, those don't go together.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, and who would you have Kenny lose to? I'm not even pressing you for it. I'm genuinely curious in this scenario who'd you have him lose to?
There was someone if Fletcher isn't winning the world title, I said Fletcher should beat Kenny. That was what I said a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but if you're not going to put
the world title on Fletcher fairly soon, I'd find a way to get Fletcher that title.
Yeah, but you have to lose to Cole here, wouldn't he?
No, I think it depends on how long you delay it, because I don't think Fletcher should have the TNT for too long either.
It's a TV title. It doesn't have to be a long reign.
Yeah, I think he can lose that TV title fairly. I think
you're overcomplicating things
for 3 to 4 months, and then you could have him win at Full Gear or World's End.
I get it. I understand, but your love for Kenny.
I think Kenny. Sure. I think Kenny could get away with working, having this title until World's End, and losing I don't fucking care. Jesus.
Yeah, that's all we need to know, folks.
I don't care. I'm picking Kenny. I want Kenny and Hangman holding their titles at the end of the show. I don't care. That's what I want. I want Kenny and Hangman hugging and holding those titles. Jesus.
Why would they hug?
Because they actually love each other.
They've been interacting for a year or 2 years, damn near.
I don't care. I want them to hug.
Kate is getting owned with facts and logic, and
this fucking guy has no.
I don't care. I want them to hug.
Facts and logic, Caden Lee. Address them.
Hug. They should hug.
Caden Lee said, "Checkmate, atheist."
You said what? You said bless you? She's okay.
Sorry, Caden.
Yeah, I do want to expose this. I was the one that typed the thing in the chat.
That was.
That was me.
It didn't matter
My
who threw it up
apologies.
there.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
got it done. All got it done.
Here we go.
Anyways, Kenley, are you live right now?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check.
He's mad as hell though.
No, I lost my ear, but I am mad because I just want, I'm just trying. Like, I want to see Kenny Omega with that title, and I want to see the hot men known as Kenny Omega and Hangman Page holding their titles high and
So
hugging.
Kazuchika Okada isn't hot. Wow.
Kazuchika Okada's hot, but he's not going to hug Hangman.
6-star. Any
my God,
thoughts on
6-star
that?
is fucking driving.
Oh my god!
Speaking of
What the
hot, by the way,
Hi, 6.
look at 6 behind the wheel.
Holy shit.
No clicking or ticking
Oh.
necessary.
10-2.
I'm driving. 10
Holy
and 2.
shit.
Here we go.
Eyes on the road, 6-star. We saw
I've
that.
always
Eyes
got
front,
my
Junior.
eyes on the road, baby.
There you go. Eyes front there,
I'm
my
a
man.
responsible driver.
6-star. Who do you have winning Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada? Yeah.
I think fate is
I
deciding.
imagine you
this.
asked me about Kenny Omega.
Yes, I did.
Omega and Kazuchika Okada was the question.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Bust.
Okay.
See, this match right here is the 5th in a series of very amazing professional wrestlers. These two men.
Poor 6.
Oh,
6,
no.
6
I
you're
think
getting the
fate
shit
is-
kicked out of you right now, brother.
Is this
Fate
how
is
mine
telling
is?
you.
6,
Six.
you're cutting it out crazy
We're losing
style.
you. We're losing you.
We're losing. Houston, there's a big problem. All right, we gotta.
Omega's winning.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Omega's winning.
Okay, we'll take that.
I can't do my spiel. I can't do my spiel.
Okay. We'll take that. We'll take that.
Slow it down. Put on the
Alright.
brake.
Caden Lee.
Oh, chill. It's not even that.
Sure. I
Caden
mean,
Lee.
Yeah.
I've heard football players from the
These are,
University of Georgia doing really irresponsible driving, and I hate to see you be next.
Jesus.
Six,
What was
you
our
got
next
an-
match,
Have you,
bro?
have you got an NIL deal lately, or?
You're crazy. You're crazy. No. Unless you mean like an LNG NIL offer,
Oh,
which I'm
shit.
be careful, young guns.
Well,
There you go.
Hands in the air.
Well, I
Hands in the
jest,
air.
of course. I could never do that to the gang. I also,
Never switch up.
I hop out sporadically. Like
true.
I'm like a cicada. I come out once every 17 years.
All right, Brad.
All right.
Move along.
Toni Storm, Mercedes Mone for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mercedes won the Women's Owen Hart Cup at Double or Nothing. She also holds the AEW TBS Championship, the British Women's Championship.
We don't count that one.
It's a title she has.
True.
She has that Austrian indie
Nasty guy.
name I don't know. And then she's also the CMLL Women's Champion. I think she has. Does she have one more?
The
I
Owen.
said TBS. So
Yeah, she's the Owen. Yeah, she has the Owen Championship technically. Yeah, this is a very big match. This is like the biggest women's match that you could do. Novi, I'm gonna go to you first because you were not a fan of this being the match. You were very much on the Jamie Hayter train.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now, a few days out from this?
I feel all love and respect. I think this match is going to be fantastic. The build has been non-existent and mostly dog shit, in my opinion. They haven't really been given any prominence on the TV. It feels less important than it did when I saw the graphic, and that's a big fucking problem. This should feel, going into the show, as the biggest women's match in AEW history in US wrestling at the moment, and it doesn't at all. This is everything that I said I was worried about going into it when it was being booked. It also lends credence on the show. There's only one other match featuring women on this card, and it's a Casino Gauntlet. So I feel very vindicated at the moment because both these titles should have gotten their own separate defenses with their own separate challengers and their own separate builds. I think it would have helped this show. I think it would have helped those belts. Again, I'm looking forward to the match. I've never wavered from that. I think it'll be good. These wrestlers, Toni and Mercedes, are just too smart to have a bad match. But I think there's a lot of issues that were brought up on the last predictions video, the one even before that, that I feel like have come to fruition, and it sucks. It doesn't feel good. This is not how I should be talking about this match. I should be talking about it like I should be filled with excitement to watch it, and I'm excited to watch the match. But it is hampered by the build. It comes hand in hand. As for a winner, I'm pretty convinced that Toni Storm is going to get it done. It's why I think Okada is going to win as well. I think there'll be two babyface, one heel wins in this top 3, and I think the heel comes out of Okada. The TV's been kind of screaming at me. Marcus says that all the time, so I do want to give credit. The TV's been screaming at me that Toni's going to win. Mercedes is getting more and more arrogant. She's treating this match as though it's lesser and lesser, that she's not preparing as hard for it. It feels all Toni right now. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to stick with. That's what I'm going to go with. I think it'll be a good match, but I, again, feel very vindicated.
Jack, do you believe that Novi is vindicated?
Yeah, I'll give him this one. No, I agree. This like they're going to deliver in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt they could have done a much better job of making this feel as big as it should be. As far as a prediction, I've been convinced from day one, and I haven't been able to shake it, that Toni's winning this match. Not Mercedes. Toni's going to win.
You've said that for a long time. I actually remember you mentioning this at one point.
And I just have it like nothing, and it might be the shitty build too, but there's been nothing to sway me remotely in the other direction. And if anything, like Mercedes still collecting belts and shit, I'm like, no, this, like I talked before about a smoke screen. To me, it's like a smoke screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mercedes do it, and she's going to lose to Toni.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to agree. I wasn't as convinced as you from the jump. I'm still not even fully convinced. Like I'm fucking 60-40, but I think for this one I'm close to like 70-30, just because the build has been so meh. I don't know if you want Toni losing the title on a build like that. You know what I mean? Especially because of how fucking over she is.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be. Again, it sucks to say, but it should be a bigger moment. Like the story should be better. It should be a big crescendo kind of thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's not, and clearly, they've cooled it off. Clearly, yeah. I think there was a lot of talk of this.
Joe says that a lot. It's an active thing.
There was a lot of talk of this being the main event, and Toni was like, "Okay, let me lock in for a second, make sure that does not happen anymore."
He said, "Nigga, no."
Yeah, exactly. So,
he saw that hashtag and blacked out.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, "Oh shit." Yeah, I think Toni's winning, which I'm okay with, to be honest. I would like for them to have a challenger set of that isn't Alex Windsor, but again, I won't be mean. If it's Willow, she needs to win that fucking title, brother. Honestly, no matter who it is, she needs to win that fucking title. Willow does.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cade mentioned it. Cade, did you mention which belts are on the line here in this match? Because it's not the TBS.
It's just the the women's title.
It's just the world, and that's also a telltale sign for me that Toni's going to win.
That's my big one of like, if this was if every other thing was on the line, I'd be like, okay, it's probably Mercedes winning just because Toni's not going to have everything. Yeah, this feels very.
What's up, Bust?
I'm 80-20. I didn't think about that. That's very true.
Yeah, I think it was put together like that for a reason. I thought it was both belts for so long, and then it got like the graphic only had the one. I said, well, okay, then.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And you got to think like the way that I see this coming out, and sorry, I'll Marcus in 6. I think that Mercedes is going to lose those belts to Willow down the line. I'm pretty convinced of that. So I think this kind of starts the downfall in a lot of ways. I think Willow finishes the job at the end of the year.
I think Willow, I always thought was going to be the one to beat Mercedes. Like from when Mercedes beat Willow at Double or Nothing, I immediately went, okay, Willow's going to be the one to eventually beat her. She'll like actually get the win because she has the win over her at Resurgence 2023, but it's like you can tell the story of, well, Mercedes got injured. It wasn't really a win.
A lot of noise there.
And then that's where you can go, okay, so now she's got to actually beat her. And then I think on the other end of things, I think Statlander needs to be the one to beat Toni. Unless it's Jamie, unless Jamie comes back and can get hot.
Jamie's
But
dead, I'm afraid.
yeah, I think Jamie's just like, I think we're just past that moment at this point. I think you wait and you do something else with Jamie. Statlander is insanely over. I think you need to pull the trigger on her sooner rather than later.
Not crazy. Marcus, speak on it.
All right, man. Fucking
Speak on it.
taking
I
the
want to
bumps,
hear.
dude.
I want to.
Jesus.
I want to hear Marcus.
I was about to ask. I was about to ask him.
Damn.
Jesus
I'm so-
fucking Christ.
I'm
Well, no
so
beats
sorry,
to the
man.
punch, okay?
Hey guys,
jumping
you shut the
gun.
fuck up, Jesus,
God
guys,
damn.
wasn't that big of a deal.
God
God
damn,
damn.
the Vernon Shirley. Fuck.
Whoa, I'm excited to hear Marcus talk about it. I'm locked in. I'm curious.
Thank you, Dopey.
We did
All right,
all this talk
first-
on the tournament show.
As I've said a lot of times, the TV is telling you a different story, even though I'm convinced of a different result. The TV's telling me something different.
Mhm.
Tomorrow will tell me a lot more with the final face-to-face promo that they'll have on Wednesday. Right now, I am very certain that Mercedes is probably winning this match. That's mean I've been on that train for a while.
Yeah.
Although the TV's told me that Toni has a much better chance of retaining than I thought previous, I'm still with Mercedes. And the build's been wonky as fuck, I will say that. Even as someone like me who's actually liked the build more than most, it's just been far more subtle than it should have been for a match of this magnitude, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
I get the idea. They're going for the idea, the story of like Mercedes being greedy and Toni like saying, "Yo, you told me you was locked in for this, and you just went on and fucked off and ate a bunch of steak and won a random championship in Mexico. So I have to remind you real quick, dump it on your head and cut a crazy promo." And the promos have been very good. That they have. Just
And to that point about tomorrow, Marcus, one thing I want to say really quick is, you know, and we're going to talk about it next. Like they have driven the point home about Mox and Hangman and everything. I would give Toni and Mercedes the main event segment tomorrow night.
I
would too.
Fair.
I would give them the main event
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah.
On the Go Hard show.
Because they've done everything humanly possible with Mox and Hangman. Like
Yeah.
they did everything, the through lines, and they've got the stipulation added. They've done the job.
They should book in the shows with, or they should book in the show with the, like, start with Hangman.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Mercedes, Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
I will. The other, what I just thought of, like, yeah, this is very similar to Mercedes versus Bianca Belair 2021 WrestleMania 37,
In some
where that
ways,
build was
In some
absolute dog shit and ended up being one of the best women's matches of all time.
Right.
This
yeah.
could this could be very similar.
That one was like far fuck. Was you had
That was
Reginald
really
in it.
bad. That
That was
Reggie.
awful. This
Yeah.
is just way more so than it really should have been.
Dude, like,
To me.
I don't, the fucking Bill's been so, like, Toni on Dynamite, just like being surprised at Mercedes wrestling. She was like stunned. What was Mercedes doing in that match that she wasn't doing?
It's
that
like
she
the
hasn't been
idea
doing
was
for the
she was,
past
like,
fucking
locked-
2 years.
It's like the idea was when like Toni was wrestling, like Mercedes was just like off paying attention to booking her own like title match in Mexico, while
Yeah.
Toni was like just staring dead straight at her the entire time and like paying attention actively. Like I get what they were trying to do. It's the actual execution on TV with some of these segments that they've done. It's been like odd.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
I mean,
like
like-
less in your face.
Listen, all love and respect.
Yes,
The let the games begin shit. Corny as hell. Never do it again, please.
yeah, that was. I ain't gonna lie. That was fine when Toni did it, and then just straight cussed her out on Collision like the next day. That was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't need like Mercedes doing it either.
Yeah. It's fine.
Kane, you do bring up a good point though. It's like, even if we say all these things about the build, and I think there's plenty of criticisms to be levied. But
Yeah.
like I said, you got to trust the talent at the end of the day.
If they go out there and they have the match that they are very capable of having, you don't necessarily forgive the build, but you look at it as like, okay, well, at least it paid off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
you
FTR
don't
Young's one
forgive
was
it, but
fucking
you-
terrible, and I love that match to
Mm,
death.
You don't forgive it, but you definitely forget it. Like it goes out
Yeah.
the
It will
window
not.
pretty
It will
quickly.
not stick with you.
You remember the
You'll
outcome. You
forget
don't remember
so
how you got
quickly.
there.
Yeah.
6. You seem to be pretty clear right now. I haven't seen it cut in a while. I've been monitoring. Talk about your goat, Mercedes.
Big CEO holding more belts than one single mind can comprehend. We're talking a belt for each continent in terms of sheer number of belts around the arms, the waist, and the rib cage right here. And we are looking to add one more to the collection. On
Exactly.
top of the crew, on top of Mercedes FC, I'm here to let you know. This is not a prediction. I'm here to let you know that we're bringing it home, that we're leaving Texas with one more belt around our waists, around our arms even. No, That's a prize jewel right there. That'll be around the waist of the CEO. And we're talking about a new world champion that she's taking that belt global. She's making that belt feel more important than anyone's ever been able to do. And that's not me trying to disrespect the lovely, lovely job that Toni Storm has done in legitimizing herself as a star and in doing so legitimizing the belt. But I'm gonna also keep it cute a little bit and say thank you, Toni Storm, for the work you've done for the division. And thank you for keeping that belt warm for my CEO. Because it is a luxurious prize to be held and one that will be celebrated, honored, and represented by the greatest women's wrestler to ever grace this damn planet and one of the greatest wrestlers to ever be born in North America. It's coming home with Mercedes Mone. We're bringing it back to Boston.
Oh god.
Back to Boston is wild, but I agree.
It did get a little intense. Back to Boston is a little crazy. Could not mention that she was from there.
Sorry, Joel Herbert tweeted a link to the show on Twitter. It said Caden Lee is mad.
Could be accurate at any point throughout the show, by the way. Any point.
He's not mad. He's not gotten to.
Yeah.
I was mad. I'm not mad.
Caden would never be gotten to, Marcus. He would never.
No, that doesn't happen. What are you talking
Nah,
about?
ungotten to King. You even let his hair down and let you know he's that much unbothered and
I'm very unbothered. But we have a good little mix of some people who think it's Mercedes and some people who think it's
Love
Tony. Oh,
6-star move me. 70-30 now. Not 80.
70-30 Tony.
70-30.
It's a big 3 to cut the lead to 40.
Fellas, we got one more match.
The match.
We got the match. Presumably, what I think all of us think will be the main event of AEW All In Texas.
I mean,
As the men's Owen Hart Cup winner, Hangman Adam Page, challenges Jon Moxley, the AEW World Championship in Texas death. The last time that these two men faced off in singles competition, it was also a Texas death. AEW Revolution 2023.
Who got choked out in that match, Chuck?
We watched that on Grapscast on Sunday. You
Yep.
can go watch our live reaction to that on the channel.
That's right. I believe that's March 3rd. I think it was the March 3rd or March 4th in San
around
Francisco at the Chase Center. Fellas, Novi, I gotta come to you last because
I
you have
know.
a lot riding on this.
I know.
It's the main event right there.
So just in case, I'm gonna go to 6 first in case the cell signal cuts out on us.
But that's a good bookend there for the two. Very good bookend. Me and 6.
Yeah. 6. Hangman, Moxley, how are you feeling?
Folks, I need you to listen. Gather around the campfire here. Huddle up. Because right now I need to sing to you the gospel of the Hangman, okay?
Wow.
Talk.
We have been on this path, the path to the main event of All In 2025, not since the Owen Hart tournament, not since the 4-way at World's End, not since beating Swerve in a cage match, not since our home was invaded, not since we lost a chance at the Trios Championship, not since we lost the world title, not since we won it Full Gear, not since we lost it All Out 2019. We have been on this road.
What
We
was it,
rode
6?
to this main event since the day in 2017 that the Bullet Club adorned Adam Page with the title of the Hangman. We have been on a path to excellency, on a path to victory, on a path to championship gold, on a path to main events, on a path to packed stadium shows since that very day that we
Oh
were
my God.
chosen by the greatest era of the greatest faction in men's professional wrestling history to become not just a main event talent, not just a world champion, but the main event talent, the world champion, the main character of professional wrestling. This is more than about winning back the world title. It's about bringing faith and hope and love and passion back to a promotion that needs it most. It's about bringing that title home. It's about showing everyone in our lives that once said we could never come back from what we felt, from what we became. It's about rising from the depths of hell, from the fire, from the ash, from the remnants of homes and paths and paths burned and trailed and blazed by others before us. It is about redeeming ourselves for the sins we have committed, about being not a god, about being not a hero, but about being a man, a decent man who can own up to his mistakes, who can fly in the face of tribulations, who can show everybody in the damn world who doubted just what he is made of. And more importantly than that, for all of the cheering fans out there in the stadium and the arenas, for everyone who claimed and called out that Hangman did nothing wrong, it is about Adam Page showing that he deserves the love that he once lost, and he found again. He's got Hangman Page proving to everyone in that stadium and to himself that not only is he capable of getting to the stadium, capable of getting to the dance, but that he himself can walk out, free that belt from the shackles that it's been held under, and hold it above his head while he lays on the shoulders of his fellow men, and has all of the world around him, in the stadium, at homes, in bars and beyond, hear and cry, because this is real cowboy shit.
Everybody from North Texas, go to your local Walmart, go to your local convenience store, put your hand in the cash register for no reason.
I feel like I just listened to a sermon. My God.
Marcus, I'm gonna make you follow 6. Talk about it.
I'll even go a step further than 6. It ain't started all those milestones. When we really got back on the horse, we really got back on that path, was ironically enough, another Texas death match against the OGCD Maximum Carnage. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, Marcus. I remember well.
Where were we that day? Watching the Hangman kill his mentor and then realize the things that he was doing up to that point. And then MJF, of all people, showed him what a real villain is. Tried to light him on fire. Then we said, fuck that. We're going to kill you. We're going to almost paralyze you with an angel's wings. How about that? And we got right back on that horse. We got through the Owen. We wasted 2.5 years of our lives. Heyman was sitting looking outside that window on Christmas morning with the dew falling on the ground, the windows out, looking for a man who he knew wasn't going to show up. He was a broken man. He was a piece of himself. And he decided to pick those pieces back up and become the man that we all thought he could be. He himself deep down knows he can be. The people in the locker room knows he can be. Hell, even deep down, Jon Moxley thinks he can be, if you really want to go that far. And Mox knows the truth. He knows what happens the last time the Texas Death Match happened. Heyman did a lot of things he probably regrets up to this point. But the biggest was not letting go of that fucking chain around Jon Moxley's neck and leaving us where we at. But that's okay. Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, really, we got a chance in front of over 20,000 people to right that wrong. Get that belt out that briefcase. Show Pretty Platinum off to the world. Show people what AEW was all about. Show people what that World Championship was meant to be. Show people that this is a belt worth dying over. Whether going through death, linking up with your ops, getting together with all the top babyfaces in the world, actually accepting the help that you desperately need. It's better when we work together, and we're going to get all the help we can get, but it's coming with a buckshot. It's coming with the formerly named Rite of Passage, now Deadeye, Hangman Adam Page, will be your new, and once again, AEW World Champion. Can I get a witness?
Yeah.
Brainbuster, you're going to be there. You're going to be next to your friend, Novi.
Mm-hmm.
I think y'all are going to have very different, different but similar mental and physical reactions as this occurs. What do you, can you give us a preview into your mind on what that will be like 5:30, 5:45 p.m. Central Time on Saturday?
I think I'm going to be Listen, I'm pretty restrained on these shows. I think I'm be pretty similar to where Novi is. I think Hangman's when I'm in the moment and I'm there and it's happening and they're setting up the the plunder and all that shit. I think it's gonna be very, very, very fun live experience. Hangman's winning. If he doesn't, oh no. I said it on WCW Lives. From time to time, when AEW does something pretty dumb, I ironically post the finger poke of doom.
Starcade 97 main event.
Yes. I think this, if Hangman loses, it's the closest to that being like a sincere thing that we've gotten yet, or that we would have gotten yet at that point. So, I mean, like, I really fucking hope not. You know what I mean? But I'm going to stick to my guns.
Young Guns.
Yes. And Hangman's gonna win. And Hangman and fucking Novi and I are gonna get home safe.
Mm-hmm. Jackson Crosby, can you let us know how you're feeling as the vet of this group? You're watching these young guns get very emotionally invested in this. Would you like to just give us any advice?
I mean, listen, don't jump off a bridge if Mox wins, because that's very much on the table.
No,
We got 4 or 5 of them in my city. I got options.
We already found one for Novi.
So
I got plenty of options in Jacksonville. There's like 5 of them here.
And it's still on the table. Okay, this is not like we were doing the averages before. This is by no means 100% Hangman Adam Page, because look, I get it. I do believe when this whole Death Riders thing started, it was to get to Darby Allin. It was. I mean, look, when Sean just came with that report, like Hangman winning the Owen final wasn't even guaranteed until like the day of, or the night before, or whatever. Mm-hmm. That wasn't even guaranteed. So like, this isn't also something where it's like, well, for months it's been planned that Hangman's going to win that's not the case. And there was a good portion of time, especially during the downtimes of this Death Rider shit, where it was like, all right, but this is getting to Darby Allin, and where the fuck did he climb the goddamn mountain yet? What's going on? And sure, it made sense too. However, in the time we've been waiting, there's been something that happened with Hangman Adam Page that you just can't ignore. And a company like WWE, for example, throughout most of its history, would just ignore it and go, but here's the plan. The plan is Darby Allin. They're just going to have to eat the shit and learn to like the taste of it until we get there. Hangman Adam Page, from day one, has been the ace of that company. Not Kenny Omega. Not from day one. Like, when I say day one, I mean before the first Double or Nothing. It was made crystal clear, indirectly, and then even behind the scenes, that look, this company is being built to be built around Adam Page. Like, the Bucks are going to be prevalent. Chris Jericho is going to be prevalent. Kenny Omega is obviously, but it is being built around Adam Page.
It's been his story from day one. I was at that rally. I know.
And my good friend John Alba says AEW for the first 6 years has been the Hangman Adam Page story, and everyone else at different points in time are just supporting characters. What's happened with him the last few months is just something you cannot ignore. And if you're going to pump this show as your WrestleMania, your biggest show of the year, we're going to do it in fucking stadiums every year. And look, I also do get it that, like, not every WrestleMania could or should have a happy ending. At a point, not every All In should have a happy ending.
We're not at that point yet.
But we're not right. We're not there yet. It's still too young. Mm-hmm. We're still at the point where it should have a happy ending. Like the baseline for getting away from that is probably like 5 years. So maybe 2 more All-Ins, and then you can start thinking about it.
Yeah.
But Hangman and just his story, his redemption, all of it, you have to give it to him. you just have to let him do it. And I'm sure Darby understands. I'm sure Tony has a talk with him and was like, listen. And plus, like, even that Everest climb, like, it was delayed by a couple months. So, like, I'm sure, like, if you have a conversation with the dude and it's like, well, first off, Darby, number one, you understand you are going to be world champion one day. Most likely. There's a 99.9% chance you're going to hold that belt at some point.
Like, you're too good not to have be considered,
will get
at least.
But just something happened. But we need you to be a big part of this. Like at the end, because I love that Avenger shit. Like, I love the thought of this.
Yeah.
And I like a part of me thinks the Texas Death thing. I like it. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I like it because you put that in there, and then it's like, okay, so we don't have to put up with any stupid ref bumps or shit like that.
Exactly.
Because now anybody can do whatever the fuck they want, which is why I liked when Cody and Roman did Bloodline Rules. It was like, okay, so now you're just inviting everyone.
Yeah.
Come on.
It made the babies not look an idiot because you're like, you know what's happening. We've seen all your title matches by now. Let's get out of the equation. Boom.
Yeah.
And it's a match I've beaten you in. So
I think you're going to see Darby Allin. You're going to see Sting. You're going to see Eddie Kingston. You're going to see
Danielson.
I think we're getting the American Dragon.
Danielson. You're going to see Bryan.
Yeah.
Bryan, I'm wondering, but like, who's the last one that helps put the nail in the coffin? Because I think
Bryan.
I think it might be Bryan.
Bryan needs to be because Bryan. This all links back to Bryan. He has.
I would actually frame it as like they all come out, the Eddies, the Darbys, Swerve, Ospreay.
Yeah.
I would love it though, especially in storyline. I would love it though if John and the Death Riders and the heels, because the Bucks will probably get involved.
Mm-hmm.
They take care of these baby faces. But when Bryan's music hits, John gets like an oh fuck look on his face.
Yeah.
Now I'm in trouble. Shit.
It's
like don't have him act like a tough guy. Have him act like a tough guy to the Eddie and the Darby and the other guys. But when Bryan's music hit, have John go, oh shit, now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
When
you think, so we think about like who's the so the I think Swerve and Will are the ones who can kind of even the odds against the Bucks.
Yeah.
I think the Bucks are going to get involved. Then you think about, so you have Claudio, you have Yuta, you have Marina are the other three. And then you might add a person to the Death Riders because they're supposed to have the trios match. Maybe Pac or whatever.
So Willow.
So Willow's going to take out Marina. You have Darby and Sting can take out Claudio and whoever is in that other, because I think we're getting a trios match against the Ops. Like Gabe Kidd's going to be, I think that's who they take out Claudio and Gabe. And I think Danielson has to be the last one to come in and take out.
I would have Bryan be the last one.
I think Bryan needs to take out Yuta. Because it needs to be Darby and Sting should be the first two. Besides, like, I think Swerve and Will shouldn't get music pops. I think the first music pop should be Darby and Sting. Because if you think, like, when you think back to, like, how did Moxley win this title? It's because he beat Darby Allin at Grand Slam. That's how he got the title shot. Yeah. So they need to come first, and then you go to Danielson needs to be after. Yeah, Rosho's saying, intercepting, like, I think Yuta should be like, if Yuta's about to hit a psycho knee on someone, and then that's when Final Countdown hits.
And if done right, like the WrestleMania 41, aside from no Austin to confront The Rock, it was fun for what it was. If AEW does this correctly, it's going to blow that out of the water.
Oh yeah, it can completely shit on it.
If they do this correctly, it's going to blow that. And like I said, I enjoyed that one, the WrestleMania 41. I thought that was cool. I thought it was well done for the standards. Again, except for no Steve, but their hands were tied.
And the wrestling itself was very good. Cody and Roman have great chemistry.
They really do. They really do. Not to talk about WWE, but they really
they do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're
very rarely does your top heel and top
babyface. I saw somebody say the other day, on Twitter, somebody tweeted something like Cody and Roman, like they'll obviously wrestle again, but like the babyface versus babyface match with no bullshit.
Right.
And just a clean ending. I think it's going to fucking rock. But no, if AEW does this, it'll kill that one.
I think people are saying like Swerve should be last because he hasn't helped Hangman. I think doing that interaction early, I think is the best. You get that interaction done, and then you can then you do your returns after.
Just
I think your returns need to be last because
In a way where,
you will ruin your pops for the other guys.
in a way where Swerve's helping it, but it's not like the deciding factor.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's not. Yeah, he's just all he's doing is taking up. If you can be very smart about it, where there's like a wink and a nod, but it's not straight up. I'm helping you be the one to win this match. I'm just taking out like these two guys who I fucking hate, and it's giving you an advantage, but I'm not directly helping you.
I'm helping you, but I'm not helping you for you. I'm
Yeah.
helping you for me.
I don't. Swerve being the last one, I think, is a very bad idea. It's going to kill the pop. You need you need to be careful. You do have to be careful with how you do it.
we're all in agreement about what the ending should be, but I am just, this is still professional wrestling. I love AEW, but all forms of wrestling and company have let me down at some point. I am like, there is still a chance Jon Moxley wins this match for some fucking reason or another. And maybe it's a Darby thing, like they said. I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm preparing myself for some kind of fuckery.
Yeah, like that's the thing for a lot of people, because like we've been told a story like very directly for months now that we're thinking, okay, it's gonna be fucking Darby that does it. Then something flipped, and then Hangman's here. They told a phenomenal story of feud here. It's been the best feud that the Death Riders have had, like by a country mile.
Yeah,
And they're telling a really good story. And they've done it in a way where the TV is very clearly telling you what's going to happen. This does feel like the end. Like Mox got goaded into this match by Hangman. Who tried to use Hangman's insecurities against him, like Ospreay did indirectly, about the drinking and about everything he's done up to that point. And then Mox be like, "You're not ready. You don't actually want that spot." That's why Swerve confronted him and started their feud, because he was like, "I'm taking a spot that you don't even look like you even want anymore."
And then there's still things that spook me, which if they're doing it on purpose, it's great. Like that's a great rib, like John saying shit about the top of the mountain in his promos.
I think people are overthinking that a lot, to be honest.
Well, some people, but there's still a shit, because it is still a very specific reference. It still is a very specific reference to the one person people think is gonna end this title reign. And then the other thing that got me, now this is overthinking on my part, but it's still just something I thought about. I understand it became discourse like the next day because people are stupid and don't watch the fucking show. But as soon as he challenged him to a Texas death match, I said, well, wait a minute. Hangman already beat him in a Texas death match. So then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. Would they do it again? Like, can he beat Mox in 2 Texas? That doesn't seem like something a promoter would. Why would he do that? So John should win this one. Like, I started getting in my own head. But as soon as he said that, I was like, wait a minute. It happened already.
That's the other thing, is like, because it takes out the elimination stuff. Heyman's fully confident, because last time it was Mox that challenged him, thinking he was just a little boy that was going to fold.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. And then here, like, Heyman's defiant and say, I want Texas Death. And very subtly nodded that it's bullshit, everything you said, that I'm not ready. I almost choked you to death. So be ready.
I have a good question, though, to follow up off of this, because we all agree Hangman, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What does Moxley do after this?
Darby, and then the Death Riders there.
Go home.
Yeah, it probably needs to be Darby.
But the Death Riders, what does that entail?
Like,
I don't think it ends the Death Riders.
I don't think I think the Death Riders are going to be around for a while.
It doesn't really need the belt, but like, it's more of an emphasis thing when it comes to them.
That's what, Marcus, that was my other thing. Like, when people were shouting Darby Allin to the high heavens, I said, look, he could still like take out Jon Moxley for good. It doesn't have to be for the title.
Yeah.
Like, you could still do that feud. It doesn't have to be for the title.
He's never beaten Moxley in any way, shape, or form in AEW, and him finally getting that big win, and with this form of Moxley, that would be huge.
I just, it would be a massive, massive mistake not to just do Hangman.
Just roll with it. Like,
so like if this was sorry, and then I'll let you go. If this was like Revolution or Full Gear or something, fine.
Yeah.
But the magnitude of this show is what really drives it over the edge. Like, again, if they gave it to Moxley, like a Revolution, Full Gear, Double or Nothing, any one of the other ones, I'd be like, well, that sucks, but all right, well, let's move on. But the gravity of this show and all the publicity around it, the buzz, and how you can't do it. You can't.
Yeah.
because it means so much just for one, the product's been on fire, and just from a backstage perspective, like Tony, you've had a fantastic product on display since like February at least. You've had American wrestling by the balls pretty much. WWE's had a lot of cracks creatively so far. Like Mania was a complete bust. The TV's been weird. The Cena reign's been bad. And you've put this on, and Hangman has the opportunity to be the world champion, your biggest show. He's your biggest, like he's the face of your company. It's time to really put pedal to the metal.
That is another underlying thing here, is that WWE right now is not in the fans' good graces. Not nearly as much as they were a year or 2 years ago. Now, I'm not saying that every WWE fan is just going to jump and start watching AEW. But if you get the word out there, and if you put out there with your product that, look, this is what our product is. We're giving you this. We're making our fans happy. Why don't you come in and join?
Yeah.
Look at this. Like, if you're pissed off with them, come see us really quick. And again, I understand that's not, like, they're not going to gain fucking 500,000 viewers like the next week on Dynamite. But what I'm saying,
the product's been better for a while, but then when the perception catches up,
little you can bring people in. And it also makes me think to a time like it's been 5 years since WWE hit a boom somewhere around COVID, right? It's been 5 years since then. There's a generation of fans growing up that may have started watching WWE when they were, say, 7, 8 years old, right? Now they're getting towards their teen years. They might look at the WWE product they're putting out now, might be a little more aware of what's going on and going, well, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Kind of like 10, 11-year-old Jack who lived through the WWF new generation and went, this fucking shit blows. I want to watch WCW, which I'm so old I watched it from the NWA days, but let's not talk about that. But when I was 12, 13, I was like, well, this shit blows. I don't want to watch this. I'm going to turn on TNT.
Vin 97 happens.
I watched more of that than I did WWF.
Yeah.
There could be an inflection point for a group of kids right now that might want to go from one to the other. So show them that we're going to give you a much better product than they are, and then you can gradually grow.
Yeah.
And it was like 1997. Like it didn't all come together overnight.
No.
WWE that year was objectively probably a lot of points a stronger, more consistent product.
If I showed people the WCW I was watching in, say, early 95 to 97, you wouldn't think it's the same freaking company.
No, not at all.
You really wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Like the cracks really showed, and then you had Sting. Yet the NWA stuff was still hot. And the cruiserweights were doing their thing. But then Sting happens at Starrcade. The match was a complete shit show creatively. Sure, Sting won, but you pissed off a lot of fans. And then during that time, Raw is getting their ducks in a row, and then by 98, they fully take off.
And people, and it's not, and I'm not going to say it this way. Like, let me just preface: I am not saying that current WWE is late stage WCW. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when you compare the two companies right now, WWE creatively is not in a great place right now.
There's a bunch of old men at the top.
AEW has their ducks in a row, and that's why for the longest time I yelled, and I used to tell Joe all the time, like when Tony would go on his rants on Twitter, I'm like, he really, really needs to sit down, shut the fuck up, look at his roster, and go, I'm good. Forget what they're doing. I'm going to put my head down, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to ignore everything that's going on. And he really showed me a lot when they asked him that question about the counter programming. And instead of going off and saying, he was just like, good for them. Fine. I got shows coming up.
Yeah.
It's growth.
I remember them asking him at one scrum in like 2021, 2022. He was like, I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit. It's like he fucking rehearsed in the mirror.
Yeah, that's
he got that weird voice and he went, I got a lot more fucking money than 10.
It's the all out one, is it? It's all out because that audio is fucked up for that. So because if you listen to the brawl, Brawl Out press conference,
but I know like I'm not talking. He's my age, but I'm talking about him like he's my kid. I'm really proud of him. Something switched in him where he noticed I have a great thing going here. I shouldn't spend my time worrying about what they're doing. And I think this weekend is an eye-opener because he's going to get 20,000 people in that stadium plus, maybe 25.
I think they're
around
going to
22
get
right now.
25.
Whatever it finishes up being.
WWE,
looks like a bunch of ass clowns.
Yeah.
With their attempt, they really like, and I don't think they're either not self-aware or don't care, but they look fucking stupid.
You already sabotaged your women's division with
Yeah, they literally
Evolution.
sabotaged their division.
Oh, they killed that thing.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Mm-hmm.
NXT not selling out center stage is also very bad.
Yep.
Novi, before you go, because I'm very excited, I want to just say something. I want to let you finish this out. I have an announcement.
I've been sitting cooped up for fucking 15 minutes listening to this great analysis, and Kate Lee has to say something.
I'm sorry.
Good God.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I want you to be able to have your time. So I want to just get this over with. When we talked about the Swerve match, I didn't fully buy in like Novi did. I think I convinced myself on the day. I wasn't really bought in. When they announced when I thought Will Ospreay was going to be the one in this match at all, and I did not think Will was winning. Actually, no, that's a lie. I thought Will was going to win, but I wasn't like fully convinced.
I think all of us did. Then I watched the TV back after the fact, and I was like, wait a minute. This is screaming Hangman's winning. And then the match happens, and Ospreay starts just beating the dog shit out of him. And at one point, but the switch, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you going to win?
But I thought there was a good chance that Will could win, but I wasn't fully convinced because I thought that Moxley would still win holding this title. For the last few weeks, I've said, I think Moxley is leaving with this title.
Yeah.
But fellas, it's time that I go back to 2020. I found something, and I think it's calling my name. It's time to buy in, fellas.
That's
and
awesome.
It's time
Hangman
to do cowboy shit.
This
I'm all the way in. Hangman is winning this fucking championship. We're taking it home. We're going to pop those champagne bottles after. Me and Novi are going to be celebrating while Brainbuster takes the pictures. It's going to be fucking godly. It's time, fellas. We're doing it. I'm fully bought in. My mental health is completely on the line. I've laid it all out there. I will be. I'm not even. No, fellas. The last few days, I have genuinely bought in on this.
You can't join the team.
I don't care.
Stay
I'm
on
doing
side.
it.
Look,
I'm in.
You really got cowboy shit basketball. This is crazy.
Look. Let me talk to you guys here for a minute.
Let me talk to you.
I've been cooped up for.
Hold on. No, my fault. I ain't gonna cut you off. But Caden, put him on the screen. Put him on the big screen. He deserves it.
I've been cooped up for a long time, fellas. No, whoa. Hold on.
Talk your shit.
Hang on, Caden.
Whoa.
Hang on, Caden. Let him figure it out. Hang on.
Joe, are you listening to?
It's Caden Lee. He's fucking on me, Jack. I'm telling you, he's fucking on me.
I was soloing.
Empty-headed dumb fuck.
Jesus.
Not too much on Caden Lee. Look,
I'm getting bullied while I'm fucking buying in. Jesus.
Look,
Deserve it.
Look. It's a known saying. It's long been said that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And going into All In this week, making my Hangman video that I did, I felt like the strongest soldier. I felt like I had been through war. I went on these programs time and time again, these preview programs, and I would yell and I would scream and I would care and I would invest everything. And there were times where I got let down. There were times when kickouts didn't happen. That's true. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. But I sit here nervous as hell about this match. Jack brings up all these different points about Mox, Texas death. Is he going to lose the second one? You have to think maybe they just fuck it up. Maybe they do. But there was another point that I made, not last preview show, but the one before that, before Swerve took on Moxley. And I yelled at all my co-hosts and I said, fellas, you have to care. And you have to think that your promotion isn't that fucking stupid. Even if they are, you have to lie to yourself. I cannot sit here and think that my promotion, the one that I've watched, the one that has got me to where I am, invested into wrestling. I sit there, Dynamite 300. I thought back to where I'd be if I didn't start watching AEW. Crazy timeline to live in. I have to think that they will get this right. Hangman Adam Page has been the soul of this company for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. We've spoken about it so much about what he means to the fan base and what he means to the people watching it. and all these different things. We've said all there is to say on that front. Now is the culmination of everything. Now is where I put every ounce of my heart and soul into this result. You all know I fucking love Hangman Adam Page. I'm playing a dangerous game, but I have to believe that the TV is right. I have to believe that the Cowboy is going to get it done at AEW's biggest show. I'm not kidding. Promotional killing result if he doesn't win. I'm not kidding.
No, you're right. It's just funny.
It really is.
It seems dramatic. It really, and I know some people, and maybe in the chat, will see this video wherever it may be. They'll say there's no way that that's the case. AEW will be fine, and they'll be fine. They'll exist. I'm not saying they won't exist, but how could you ever trust your promotion to ever make a decision again if they don't make this one? You can't. You can't.
All hope would be gone.
All hope would be lost. All hope. There would be no. I wouldn't invest.
Where would we go? Where would
Why
we
would you
go?
invest in anyone ever again after that?
Why would you? You had no reason to. Hangman has defined this promotion even when he wasn't on top. Every time there's been a world champion, every time there's been a big match, you ask yourself, but where's Hangman Adam Page? What's he doing? Because he matters. A year ago at this point, shouted from the rooftops that Hangman should main event in Wembley. I stand by that. This was the strongest battle. That was my toughest task. And I'm not going to sit here and blame Mox for what all has happened. I'm sure you can. You could blame whoever the fuck you want. That's fine.
Well,
You could blame whoever you want. All that to me right now, it doesn't matter. I've decided it doesn't matter to me. Because this is what counts. I've loved Hangman Adam Page since I started watching wrestling with AEW. I will be there in the building next to my good friend Brainbuster, watching a wrestling show for the first time with pals. If this doesn't happen, I'm jumping off the balcony. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna freaking do it.
I won't have a ride home.
But
I'll bring you home, Buster. It's fine.
Thanks.
But I say that because I am so convinced that it's going to happen. Marcus, you bring it up all the time, and we brought it up with the Toni Monet. We talked about it. The TV is yelling at me. You go to Grand Slam Mexico, and you put him front and center on that show. You have him bookend that show and look like the promotional defining man in front of a crowd like that, and at a show that important. You have to follow that up. It is so fucking important. It's unbelievable. And I'll give Caden Lee plenty of shit. I'll always do that.
Yep.
Caden Lee didn't buy in. He wasn't invested in that Swerve result, and that's fine. He can be welcome to the team. Anyone who wants to be welcome to this team can join it. Because guess what, folks? I'll say it again. Fucking care about the wrestling you watch. Care about it. It matters to you. So you should put it on a pedestal. If this result means something to you, don't sit there and fucking say, don't hesitate. Say, I believe this is going to happen, so it's going to happen. And he did. He cut an entire promo in Spanish in front of this crowd. What other man is doing that? No one.
To the point where CMLL ran to the said, "Can we please book Hangman? Please?"
They fucking started kissing his feet, said, "Please let us have him for one show, please. I'm begging you." And he should walk in to Arena Mexico as world champion next time. He should. He should walk in to Wembley Stadium next year as champion. I'm going crazy. I'd go extended crazy style.
We're getting delirious, baby.
Get delirious.
He should walk into SummerSlam as he just
Fucking go.
Go to Mania. All seriousness, we talked about. I didn't even speak. I was formulating my thoughts. I think Swerve's going to be the final man to get it done for him. I think he's gonna be the result. I know I completely get Bryan Danielson being the finish. That makes total sense to me. I would love it just the same, especially considering their relationship too, Hangman and Bryan. But Swerve is the one to really, really send him home. And if Swerve's going to turn heel, and this will be his last outing as a babyface, his last big moment as a babyface for now, I think that's the perfect way to close it out. It's the perfect way to end this chapter of the Death Riders, of Jon Moxley on top. It's got to be the Cowboy. It's got to be. You cannot end this show in front of 25 likely 1,000 people with Mox's music playing. You can't.
Come with Bulldog choke.
It just can't.
Niggas walking out.
It just can't. That's it. you don't just send 25,000 people home sad. You send every single person watching the show home sad. I know people do their bits. It comes a Bulldog Toke. It actually, I know you want Hangman to win. Everyone fucking wants Hangman to win. It's not that, you could be, except for that one Moxley fan. Maybe they want Moxley to win.
There's something they should do. I'm not gonna say it on here.
But yes, my final note to end on: the wrestling you watch matters. The characters in wrestling you get invested in, it matters. I'm example of that to the fullest extent, and maybe it'll turn out bad for me, but again, I can't think otherwise. I think the Cowboys getting it done. I think we'll see that big, beautiful gold world championship once again for the first time in feels like a decade around the Cowboys' shoulder or over top of it. It'll be glorious. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. But that's the spirit of the game, man. That's what wrestling's all about. That's the point. And I saw it in the chat earlier where someone was giving credit to Mox making you care. Credit to Mox. Because I don't want to like skim over this like he's been terrible. Mox has been really good for like a couple months now, and it was an active booking decision that's changed that, like with the way the Death Riders are presented on TV and stuff like that. Mox has an equal hand in making this feel as big as it does. All credit to him. One of my all-time favorites as well. And if he finishes the job and sends Hangman off as the world champion, he can do what he does afterwards with Darby, whatever it may be. I think that's the perfect way to do things. It works out best for every party involved if Hangman walks out as champion. It just does. So yeah, I'm firmly committed. I think Hangman's getting it done. I think me and Bus will be celebrating in the arena. Kane and Lee will be celebrating in the arena, and me and Kane will clink our glasses to end the night at the barbecue. You know what I mean,
brother? We will be getting absolutely shit faced if Hangman.
Well,
we go to the after party, baby.
I drive, so
I will be getting absolute. Does Buster not have a license?
No.
Oh fuck! I will be getting absolutely shit faced.
I'll handle my liquor, brother. I'll do it.
My goal for Saturday is like no matter where I get put my hope is that I can be with Novi and Buster for this match.
That'd be
fuck yeah!
If I can like make it happen in some form, I'm going to try because like I would very much like to go through this with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
I think, and we've talked like this. We're obviously ending the show. It's coming to a close. I mean,
thank God.
I've never gotten the chance to experience anything like this ever in my life. I've never been to a wrestling show with a real wrestling fan like Brainbuster. It's really does mean the most to me. And I know like the result is one thing. I'm genuinely very desperate for this result to happen. It would be the perfect way. My birthday's the next day, by the way, if anyone didn't know that.
Holy shit. Tony, do the right thing.
I need it really bad. That's why I care so much, even more so than I already did.
Imagine the Hangman loses the next morning. We fucking walk in tired as hell and it's just TJPW.
Like, oh, happy birthday, Novi. Fuck you.
Happy birthday. There's this Makito singles match.
Yeah.
All right.
But also like whirling candy, maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I'll be.
Hey, man.
I'll be
Hey,
happy.
man. Novi needs to go to the after party. A happy man.
We gotta. If Hangman wins,
Mine
we have to
too.
go to the after party.
Orange Cat, do we share a birthday?
That rules.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel
My
like maybe I
girlfriend-
knew this.
My girlfriend's is the 12th, so we'll be.
Mine's
Wow,
November
that's
2nd.
Thank you,
October 15th, guys. There's a Dynamite on my birthday this year.
We have
shit.
we have some big birthdays that weekend. We'll be
Oh,
celebrating
that's-
my girlfriend's
that's
and we'll have
fucking
Novi's
awesome.
same next day.
Tony, book that October 15th Dynamite in Jacksonville, please, big bro.
And one thing we should note too. Me and Bust will be around all week long. If there's any Grinners that wanna say what's up to Two Young Guns, just come say hi.
I'm
Okay.
fucking painfully awkward. Please don't relieve it.
It's $25 for a selfie. It is $40 for the selfie and 8x10 combo.
The Young Guns are StarCast.
That's Caden Lee's prices. I've this big YouTube channel we've established over the last couple of days, so my prices are a little bit higher. But trust
Yeah,
me,
he
it's
has
worth
the-
it.
like
Yeah, like
It's
whenever
free
you
to-
appear, so like what happened at the Indies, fellas, like when AEW Dark was still around, is if you appeared on Dark, your meet and greet or your 8x10 price would rise from $20 to $30. That's how Novi's is.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Basically, yeah.
pictures with me are free, but if you want me to do it too sweet, it's like $10.
Mhm.
It's like,
If you want Buster
So-
to call you fat, it's 15.
think you just do that.
That's sex work. You just signed me up for sex work.
That's crazy.
Caden,
Just call Buster a whore?
I would maybe close this out. You're digging yourself a hole, pal.
Yeah.
I'd like to get out of here.
We're gonna
I
go
got
ahead
something
and
for you,
wrap
bro.
up. I want to just for myself, just to be a little vulnerable. I'm genuinely like very excited to see my friends this weekend.
Yeah, dude.
I'm quite excited. I told my girlfriend that because I drove to Gainesville today. We're gonna start driving to Texas tomorrow. This is the most excited I've been for a wrestling show in like a very long time. I've gotten to go to a lot of stuff in the last few years. I'm like giddy with excitement for this weekend. I've actually been like actively emotional about it. I think we're just gonna like no matter what. Like I think I'm just excited to like be there, be in the building, and have a good time. Even like if the stuff doesn't go the way I want it to. That's what this is like. Novi has genuinely pulled me in the way of like I need to just fully invest because it does make things so much better. So I'm investing, and if my heart gets broken like it did at WrestleMania 39 when I was fully invested in Cody, I will be go through it.
Important note before we head off: if Hangman wins, 24-hour charity stream.
Yes,
that is happening.
Is that a thing?
Let's
It
go.
is.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
So lock in.
Lock in. Let's do some plugs. Let's call it a night, fellas. It's been 2 hours and 16 minutes almost. Buster, you've already Buster and Novi, I'll let y'all can do a combined one at the end. Marcus, where can the people find you?
Marcus Davis 904 on Twitter and Blue Sky, which I don't use at all, but I have one. And follow the Inside Florida Swamp, Inside Florida Athletics podcast that I'm on at Inside_Swamp. Next week we will be there. I'll be interviewing Caden, not you, Lee.
Beautiful.
I am I'm currently 2 blocks from the swamp, and it fucking rules to be within that vicinity again.
Hell yeah.
Uncle Jack, anything to plug?
Never.
Awesome.
Paramount Plus.
I used to do the Paramount Plus bit back in the day, but that died years ago.
Well, like, do you want to? Any thoughts on HBO Max coming back tomorrow?
Come on, man.
Who gives a
Oh, the name change is going into effect tomorrow.
Yeah, they're changing it again tomorrow.
Dumbest fucking thing. No, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me like hang out with you guys.
Of course, dude. Literally anytime.
Thanks, Uncle Jack.
It just dawned on me, like part of the reason why I did this, because I was talking to Joe about it before. Now, you want to know the funniest thing about all this? I don't think I can watch the show on Saturday.
Fucking
I don't think I can watch any of what we talked about because it's going to be 89 degrees here on Saturday.
Yeah.
I have a 4-year-old who's going to wake up and go, "Daddy, can I go swimming?"
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go, I can't look at my 4-year-old and go, "No, I got to watch pro wrestling."
Let's the fuck up, kids. That's all.
And no, before anyone said, I know it's going to sound weird. I am not one of those people who can put it on. I can't watch shit on my cell phone. Like I can't.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
That's what I do.
My brain can't.
I'm the same way. I can't. It's really weird.
I can't.
Me too.
I tried to last year. I tried to do it with Wrestler's Dream, and I was just like, I was watching.
I am.
You can't
it's
focus.
fine.
I just can't.
Yeah,
I'm almost exclusively a cell phone watcher.
You're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
You are
No
not.
wonder you don't like
do it.
wrestling. Yeah.
So, like I'll go to theme parks. I'm like I'll go to like
no,
horror
man.
nights a lot on like nights where
Tell
there's
me about it.
pay-per-views, and I'll like put the pay-per-view on my phone and just like be walking in between the houses just watching the matches.
People probably fucking hate you there, dude.
Oh, 100%.
They
Like,
can't
there's some
see
things
my
I can
phone.
watch on
Jesus.
there.
No, I'm not even talking about that. You're just walking so slow, not looking at your fucking.
No, I'm
It's like-
no, I'm actually no. So like because I've gone,
No, you're one of the
because I
girls.
do it because I do it enough. I'm actually very good at walking on my phone.
Are you?
End the fucking stream.
Buster, no. I was gonna ask if y'all had anything you wanted to plug.
I do.
Yeah, Novi,
Yeah,
talk.
bro.
Jesus.
I'll be posting many pictures from my Twitter account @itsnoviak. Please follow me there. There'll be pictures with Brainbuster and Caden Lee. Eventually, probably pictures of the things we buy at our all adventures. Probably our
Yes.
food that we eat. I'm
True.
gonna try to catalog a little bit just for Grinner pops. You will see all kinds of Grin-alongs on this channel for the rest of the week. There's a ton of them. All In, Evolution, Saturday Night's Main Event, Ring of Honor. They're all there.
Well,
So-
hold on. Saturday Night's Main Event. It's not a full
Oh,
It's
they
not
just
Flipper
doing the
One.
main.
They're doing the big
They're just
fight
doing the main
breakdown.
event.
Oh, okay, I got
The main
you.
event breakdown.
Yeah,
Big-
okay.
I can't wait to see
Got
what
you.
happens in that match.
Yeah.
Now that
I
I'm
know.
just that
Me
match.
too. I'm very excited for
I
that
can't.
match.
I
dude.
cannot miss that.
I can't wait. I'm so
can't.
excited.
It'll
Well,
be fun. We'll probably watch.
Let's get out of here before we do more Fed propaganda.
Uncle Jack is for the children. He teaches the children. Remember that.
Like the
Thank you,
stream.
everybody. Like the stream. Like the
Like the
stream.
stream.
Nobi's job is on the line.
Stream.
Like the stream. Thank you. All hail. And enjoy this outro.